What is up, everybody? Alrighty, playing the regular alt account today, just mix things up, try to get the fucking damage CE so I can use Proto Coup against the challenge quest. I mean, what? Anyway, got a whole lot to do on this event on this account though, pretty behind. Thankfully, I don't need to complete every little thing. Do the main story here. Well, apparently I'm about to get the Grail, so that's nice. So I guess I could 120 some stuff on this account if I wanted to. Not sure what I have the coins for though, but I haven't even thought about that yet. I'm not sure this counts as an earlier stream. If anything, this is a wee bit later. I actually would have already been streaming, but I didn't want to step on Cairo's toes too much there. Let's see, I guess that's just a permanent unlock. So, I get a lot of, people bugging me to make the 5-star tier list video, even though I've said, it's not really something I want to do because I don't think it's very practical, and, I've gone into that many times. And a lot of people that bug me about it are kind of annoying about it, but I got a YouTube comment, this was a while ago, but it's pretty funny. It's on that Enkidu video I made. And the dude's like, hey Green, maybe with all this talk about unit strength, maybe you should make a video going over all the SSR unit strengths in comparison to each other. Maybe in a list format where you rank each of the units into different tiers. That's pretty funny. That's a good way to... Because obviously, he's just kidding, but that's funny. Dude knows. Maybe one of these days. I'm way more, like I always say, I'm way more likely to make an update to the 3-star video than I am to do a 5-star one. Okay, I don't remember like half of these. Like I don't remember fighting an alter ego at all. Like what? Is this the, no, that's not the Gilius one. Weird that I don't remember these. Like, you'd think one that gives a lore would be pretty memorable. Yeah, do I not have the challenge quest yet? Oh, we do have the challenge quest, so we can do that whenever we want. I'd like to get the freaking CE first, though. Alright, we'll just start over here. Actually, real quick, I really do want to look at my ult account here. I want to see how many coins I have for different characters. So Achilles I have a lot because he's a 5-star. Gil I've got a good amount. I don't have that many for Gwen. That kind of sucks. Don't have anything for Atalante. That's crazy that Atalante only has 130. That sucks. Well, what about Proto Coup? I think this is where I'm going to be really sad. Because I'd like to 120 Proto Coup, honestly, if I was going to do something. But, I feel like I'm gonna have no Proto Coup coins. 80! 80! Oh my god, you can't even get one passive with that. I can't, that's just... Why is it like this? His S2 buff, honestly, it does help him. Like, I don't think he's as bad anymore as people make him out to be. He has some straightforward value, but it's obviously inferior to most of his competition still, but he'd still be pretty low, but he wouldn't be as low as he was. Did this account get Summer Kiara? I know my main got her. I'm not sure if this account got her too. God, what is these things I'm seeing right now? I don't know, I have a feeling if this account got her, she's probably in second archive where I burned her. Who knows? Oh, no, there she is. God damn it. Oh my god, I have 2 of her. Oh my god, I got 2 of Summer Kiara on both of my accounts. That's so stupid. That's so stupid, dude. Ugh, anyway. Well, I don't know, maybe someday we'll do 120 Achilles. The problem is you have to basically pick between 120 and your passives, right? It really sucks. Honestly, if they buff Caster Gilius one more time, I think he could be totally fine, right? Like, his buff was good, it's just he's so bad that it doesn't really put him on the map yet. But if you combine his buff with another good buff, I think he'll be pretty solid. What do I want to use here, just for shits and giggles? That Nobu's tempting. The only reason I'm not clicking it is because of the CE. But you know what? I'm doing it anyway. This is going to be a shit show. Let's go budget here. I feel like I should bring a different DPS, but I would imagine Achilles' third skill is Archer. But they might make it Berserker, I guess, too. But I would think it would be Archer. Not Bond 11 yet. Not a true fan. This is Spike in a Rail. It's from the Bastion soundtrack. Which is quite an old soundtrack these days. Kind of weird to see it that way. I remember when that game came out. Yeah, the back row is like Killjoy here. There we go. Alright. Try not to use the 2 back units if I can help it. Go 20-30. Do Ox King, but we don't have that. Watch Nobu do like 3 damage here. People saying there's an open world Kirby now. I don't even... Out of all the Nintendo properties to go open world, that's not really the one I would have thought. Maybe if they did like Air Ride, I could see that. Is it kind of though like open world as in it's like, you know, Mario 64 but Kirby? Because that makes sense. Like that I could see. I don't remember this stage at all. Yeah, Air Ride was great. Do we really need a Mario movie? Like, I feel like some things are just fine as video games. We just art change there. I don't know like anything about celebrities, right? Like people always bring up names like, oh, this person's doing this or that, and I don't know who any of those people are. That means nothing to me. That is really common though, when you have people trying to make movies, especially cash grabs and or popular IPs trying to make a movie and stuff, is they don't really hire people that are actually good at voice acting and stuff. They hire celebrities to bring in, you know, like recognition. It's really stupid actually because a lot of celebrities and even good actors are horrible voice actors. There's such a difference between being a good actor and being a good voice actor. And some actors are good voice actors, but a lot of times they're not. It's actually incredibly common that actors make bad voice actors. But they pretty much always get hired because just name recognition, that's almost the entire reason. And also, some people don't know anything about the industry, and they think, oh yeah, just hire big name actors because they know what they're doing, right? What is this stage? I have no idea what this stage is right now. I'm like building up for a big Nobu NP, but there's no enemies. Can you not kill Qingong, please? Guys, what are we doing here? I'm about to Qingong NP to clear this wave. Probably should have done that, to be honest. That'd have been pretty great. Could have brought in Shakespeare. You know what? I'm doing it. Sorry, Hans. I don't get the 20-30 stars though if I do that, but it'll be fine. Hey, Cairo. Just in time for the sacrificial Hans. Alright. Please make this final stage be something worthy of all these buffs that we have. Nope, not really. Why is it... Okay, now I remember this stage. Definitely not memorable though. Yeah, she has defense up. That's like the one thing. It is a pretty big defense up. She does not have divinity, unfortunately, and she doesn't have the writing skill, so... Not the best. Let's go Shakespeare tank. Actually, I could taunt Nobu, so Nobu gets hit and gets more NP back. Yeah, I just wasted invulnerability then, but who cares? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. How has she not been buffed? How has she not been buffed? Like, her skills are so bad. And okay, here's the thing. Sometimes you can have a unit that has kind of, you know, skills, but they work very well with like what their NP does or something. But her NP's not good either, right? It's not like her NP does anything fancy. It's just a generic unupgraded Buster AoE, right? It doesn't like do anything special, right? Because there are some units out there that have kind of skill sets, but their NP's so good. It's like, okay, they're all right. But Nobu is not that. Like, Nobu is so not that. I cannot believe, like, their way of buffing her and giving her an animation update is making Avenger Nobu with stage 1 or stage 2, I forget. I think it's stage 1. Oh no! We did nothing. Holy crap! Wait, why did her defense up go away? What? Does her defense up go away after she gets hit by an NP or something? What is going on? I don't remember this at all. All I remember from this stage was just her being really tanky and taking a long time to die when I brought a team that wasn't designed for it. So, I like the quick charge gank there, game. Very fun mechanic. God, I hate that. Well, shouldn't have taunted Nobu then. I was just trying to get a double NP to be fancy. Well, it was actually an Achilles setup. Who knew? Well, that was weird. If only we had known that was going to happen, I would have just evaded Nobu. And then she would have... Between Shakespeare and Qingong, probably could have doubled NP'd there. I hate quick charge, like, when it's random like that. Or it's like, oh, you broke a health bar, now they instantly NP you. Because then when you know that it's fine, right? But it's just a stupid gank, right? It's like trial and error nonsense. Alright, time to yell at the camera. There's no point in talking when Achilles is in ping. Achilles' costume is fine. I would never use it, but because I prefer the serious stuff. But there's nothing wrong with it. I like the skill animation. It's funny. I hardly use any costumes though. But it's like if their normal costume's good and more serious and fitting like their actual lore, you know. Honestly, I think Achilles is one of their better jobs of just making an anime version of a legend. Although honestly, they did a pretty good job at that back in the day. It's just nowadays that they do a really shitty job. But like Medea, Medusa, all that stuff is fine. But Achilles really is like right on the money. Just anime Achilles. Okay, get the lore. Don't remember this stage either. Let's make 100 Face do disgusting things. How disgusting do we want to get here? Could just keep it with Hans, keep it reasonable, or we could do Castor or Toria. Let's go Hans. I like the boy. We'll go that to double 20-30. You have like guaranteed crits here. The only bad thing about double Hans here, and this is a pretty bad thing, Caster Gill. Now someone's actually having ideas now. Let's see if any of them are up. My main account has Caster Gill, but my ult doesn't. But Caster Gill's not a bad call. But Casters kind of suck here because everything's Riders, and you're not going to get 100 Faces cards enough to actually clear out the enemies. So this kind of setup is actually kind of terrible. Could do Reigns, almost never use her. No one ever slots her though. I don't see any Caster Gills. That would be a fun one though. Yeah, we could do Reigns. I haven't used her in forever. I could just go 20-30, fuck it, we're gonna crit. I remember I used her when she came out a little bit, just for testing and whatnot, and then I used her when she got buffed, but that's like it. She's not even a unit I hate, I'm just completely whatever. I have no hype for her in any way. I think she's incredibly boring character-wise, and then gameplay-wise, she's kind of just another 50% battery bullshit support like we already have so many of. But there are times that she's really busted OP because of her class thing, like especially against Berserkers, she's really good. She wears blue, so she's good in my book, fair enough. Let's see. That's right, her third skill is the one that got upgraded with the battery. That was such a boring buff though. They're like, hey, it's like another waiver, guys. This is fun. Right, and her NP is the class thing, which really won't matter here, but unless we do like K-scope or some nonsense. Look at Cairo having better CEs than me. Okay, hopefully our back row won't matter. If it does, we'll just go Mozart. Where the hell is my Mozart? There he is. Yeah, K-scope Mozart, that's the one. We'll do Painting Summer. Nah, we'll do Golden Sumo to kill trash mobs. I should really just start with Arash. Even in stages like this, it's good. What is this music? Like, we're just doing a team create, and it's like God is creating the universe right now. And it's like dramatic weeb music. Good though. Yeah, we'll do an account review today. Unless my stream explodes, you never know. Oh, I think this is Ivan. So that you can see free invulnerability. I remembered something. This is a terrible opening hand. Can I get my NP without using the battery? Fast mode, haven't seen that in forever. clear out this wave as fast as possible, but also like, oh shit. How do I have no art cards on 100 face right now? Okay, well, this changes things. Hey, Mr. Iceit, thank you for the gifted sub. And the resub. The double. Wait. What? Didn't I have... What? Oh, is she 40? Oh, no, that's right. It's on the first skill. There we go. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm quite sure she has 50. We're not Cat Story yet. We gotta click 3 buttons. I am so annoyed that we do not have an art card. We didn't have an art card last turn either. Hydras, man. Damn. 47 stars though. Han's kind of good. Should have already cast this, but it shouldn't matter. Can Hans do 2k? Probably not. I can do Buster Art. Will that work? Let's hope so. Get the extra 10% at the end. Oh yeah. Not even close. Well, the whole point of Reigns kind of went out the window because of the stupid Hydra. Let's see, how many hits is it? 3. So if I NP, it'll let me Brave Chain. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm literally NPing to just get a Brave Chain here. We hit him with the extra attack. The smarter thing would have probably been to NP a trash mob. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, Kyra. I might just refund the NP, so we'll see what happens. If I had an art card, I would. But he resisted the art resist down. Fantastic. Anyway, I could have killed a trash mob with the NP and then done the other attacks into Ivan, and the shield would still be gone, and then one of the mobs would be dead, but whatever. We can NP here. Hey, Marcellus 15, thank you for the 17 months. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Icy. We're picking on Ivan. This team did not work at all. This was not even remotely smooth. Between the Hydra and the invulnerability, this was just super jank. Didn't show off any value out of Reigns whatsoever. If anything, Hans did better. He didn't die. Great. No crits either. More jank for the jank pile. Work schedule changed, understandable. Sounds like adult life right there. Damn it, everything is just wrong on this team. The constant bad value. Yep, of course. Ugh. This is very unsatisfying. I don't know why that stage gives a lore though. Not even, it's probably easier than all the other ones. Maybe they just wanted the lore to be easy to get. because everyone's bitching about lures right now. I haven't even done all the free quests on this account, dude. Actually, I've hardly done any of the free quests. Look at all these unclaimed rewards. Gonna have to do that. Apples! Can't miss out on the apples. That's the important part. Oh, this account is so far behind. The thing is, I've actually played it an okay amount, but all I've done is try to get a CE drop. That's like all I've tried to do. Because I just wanted Protoku to get the CE for the challenge quest. But of course, I have not gotten one, and I've gotten 3 on my other account. Because that makes sense. Fucking the Steno account has gotten 2 CE drops, which it doesn't need it at all. 'Tis the way of it. Who do we want to use? Yeah, I could show off how busted Nero is, although that is so scuffed. 877 NP1. She'd still wreck face though, she's that busted. Could do Babbage. Do Babbage Shiba. Shiba 10-10-10, no, feels bad. Not strong enough to level. We'll do that, that's kind of fun. Do that. Trying to get some big crits in here. Feels bad, Icy. When you just want to do an innocent troll and you get smited by the naming gods. Oh yeah. This stage. I might just star bomb right now. Let's see. This could be fun. Let's see if we can kill 2 here. Woo! 59k! No event bonus, no event CE. Love it. Man, maybe we 120 Babbage. That'd be a fun one. Not that we have any Babbage coins, but 98%. 98%! That would have been so good! We could have been like bam bam and then NP, and we still have our NP up and everything. Now it's then everyone gets stunned. Wait, no, only Hans got stunned. It's just Hans decided to take every single card. What is this? Like, cause Brunhilde could do stuff, right? She's got her damage up and she's an event servant and she's a berserker, right? So Brunhilde's ready to kill things, but no. Hans is like, I got this. And he trips on his shoelaces. Well, it'd be fine to have all those cards I can't use if Babbage could NP, but he can't. That means the crit I just did is pointless, because it died to the NP anyway. Look at this. Look at this. We could do so. Okay, you know what? Because I can crit right now, and we won't be able to really crit later, I think we don't NP here. Even though I could just double NP. Like, I could NP now with Babbage, and then NP with Brunhilde, and just win with that. But the crits, though. Okay, not quite as good on that one. As long as you kill 1, though, it's good enough. Killing 2 would have been really cool, but we kill 3 and 3, you'll be fine. Oh, don't start with that crap again. The music knows. Well, Babbage NP without his attack up and without his NP up. I don't know what you mean by EQ. I'm guessing CQ. And really, I just don't think the lottery CQ thing needs to be connected in any way. And like, it's not even complicated. Nothing even needs to be done. Just make good challenge quests in regular events, like you normally do anyway. And then just don't do 30 challenge quests at once when you do lottery events. That's it. Like, nothing needs to happen, right? It's like, just when you make new stories and new events, put good boss fights in them. When you do lottery events, let people farm, right? That's it's very simple. The biggest thing I'd like to see FGO change, really, is, well, really, actually just adding permanent stuff into the game to make the game better, you know, all the time, you know, like new game modes and stuff. But, like, I want to see them change their event format in terms of just, like, you know, giving you more things to do throughout the event just for fun as you play through it, instead of just, you know, nothing until the very end, right? Like, you know, this event was so boring until the very end, and then it's a bunch of stuff at once. It's like, I just would vastly prefer to do it more like Gura, where you've just got a little bit of fun stuff to do every day, you know, and you can make it optional if you want, you can make it cost no AP if you want, right? You can do whatever, however you want to do it, because some people are going to get, but I want to use my AP to, you know, catch up on the dailies and, you know, farm the ladder or whatever, right? But then if you want to just add like a, you know, a fun boss fight on the side, you know, doesn't even cost AP to do, just do that. I actually don't know why, like, they don't just make some things just cost no AP, right? Especially when you're gonna make something really hard like Fluffy, right, in the main story. Why did that cost 20 AP to try? Like, why? Like, there's no point. Like, it's stupid. Let's see, we don't have like the big bonus stages yet. Excuse me. What do I want to use? Let me look at my options here. God, like even this UI, it's like, it's so stupid if you do something, like let's say you change one unit here like this, and like, oh wait, I want to change the support. Then you have, like, what is this? This is such a needless UI right here. It's like you have to click yes to set it back to the way it was to go backwards. Like, it's stupid. There's so much weird crap like that in FGO that is just a complete waste of space. Could just do a Gwen solo, mix it up, something different. Hey, Beasley. Where are all the normal Georges at? Why do I have no command code? I have to fix this. I have no command codes on Gwen. It's wrong. Whoops. I feel like I'm writing an essay, filling out the application again. You know, Cairo, YouTube privilege. I don't even remember filling out the partner application. Right, I remember I just switched to Twitch after doing YouTube, and then I just got partner in like 5 seconds, and I didn't have to. I know I had to click something, you know, and something, but then it just happened, right? I got approved immediately. Fucking bullshit. Just got super lucky. I tell you, the best way to get into streaming is don't. Yeah, I think they actually checked my YouTube, is what it was. I remember them saying something about that. Is they basically checked my YouTube, and then like that, they're like, oh, you can just make a partner right away. It was something like that. I don't remember. It was so long ago now. But I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. This is actual advice. The best way to get into streaming is by not streaming. I am so serious about that. Like, you need to build up an audience literally anywhere else and then bring that over into streaming, because there is just no discoverability in streaming itself. There's none. If you just start a stream and you have 2 viewers, you don't show up anywhere. You're not, you know, and no one's gonna click your stream. Even if you're a great streamer, you have a great voice, you know, great presentation and everything, it won't matter. It literally won't matter. They'll watch, you know, whoever the fuck who's got 50 viewers instead, or 100 viewers, or whatever. It's just, that's how it is. There is absolutely no discoverability through streaming on YouTube or Twitch, right? If you stream on YouTube, you're not gonna, if you don't already have an audience, no one's gonna know you're streaming and they're not gonna click on you, and if no one clicks on you, no one else clicks on you. So overwhelmingly, the way to get into streaming is to be successful through anything else, you know, be it writing, YouTube, you know, gaming, whatever, like have some kind of audience from literally anything else, and then you're like, hey, I'm streaming now, right? That's how you get into streaming. Now there are art, being a voice actor, yeah, anything, right? Like having popularity on Twitch, Tumblr, whatever the fuck. You know, it doesn't even matter really, but already having an audience is pretty much the way to do it. Now it's possible to get into streaming through streaming. A few people have done it, but it's so rare. I mean, for every one success story of someone just starting streaming vanilla and being successful, there's just, I mean, thousands if not millions of failures. It's an unfortunate reality. You know, the supply and demand is like there's a lot of demand. There's a lot of demand for entertainment through YouTube and streamers and things like that. But the supply is also unbelievably high. I mean, it's unbelievable. There are so many streamers, right? I mean, there's just countless of them, and that makes discoverability even harder. And then the websites themselves, you know, for making a YouTube video, you can have random people with 9 subscribers just have something go viral, at least to some extent, and then be favored by the algorithm, and then you grow that way, right? It's much easier to grow through YouTube, like YouTube videos and fucking Reddit memes, for God's sakes, than it is to just like vanilla stream and then make an audience that way. Yeah, that's actually the main reason it's been harder for Cairo to get partner, is because Cairo just started streaming just vanilla, right? Like, and he's had a tooth and claw over years, and it's much harder that way. And not to toot my own horn, it's got nothing to do with me, it's just a coincidence, right? Because I had an audience. If Cairo didn't have at least some kind of you know, sway in like this community, he wouldn't have had the few viewers he had to kind of get him off the ground at all. And then, like, seriously, I've seen it. I've seen good streamers that know what they're doing, have good personalities, right? They're a great streamer, but they have 2 viewers and they can never get off the ground. But then if something happens, if they get a break and they get like 20 viewers and they get like that backbone, then they can start building, right? Then they can start building. That happened to Slice. I remember Slice was in like 2 viewer hell for so long, and then eventually he was able to just get a few, you know, steady viewers, and then from there he was able to just go, right? And that happens a lot, right? It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's like, you know, the supply and demand is kind of bizarre, and the discoverability is really low, and people only click on things that have already been clicked on when it comes to streams. So no one wants to watch a stream that only has 2 viewers. Even if the streamer's great, that's just how it is. Okay, I'm taking like 9 years to set up my command codes, and these aren't even the right command codes, so what are we doing here? Let's do Star Absorb Crit, because that's really good on Gwen. I've had a hard time really figuring out what is the absolute best command codes for Gwen. Like, it's... because you don't always want to see red, press red. It depends on the fight. Like, if the fight is see red, press red, I do like Star Bomb, Star Absorb, and then, like, literally anything else. But I think for some fights, that's not good. Do a big crit damage one just cause. And like the only reason I am like where I am at all, you know, I'm not some big streamer or YouTuber at all. I'm just, you know, big enough in this tiny niche of like, you know, English speaking FGO, right, that I can get by. But I just got lucky, right? Like I just happened, because first off, when I got into FGO, the supply and demand was in my favor, right? There was no supply of English-speaking FGO content. I mean, there was basically none. There was like 3 people, and then they didn't take it seriously. They put no effort into editing. They didn't, you know, anything. They were just what little English-speaking FGO content there was, and I mean, there was very little. It was bad. It was quite bad. So I was fortunate in that I had like no competition at the time. And then Nero Fest, I just like, hey, it'd be fun to solo as many stages as I can with Koo, because Koo's really good at soloing. Let's just, you know, have fun with that. And then I wasn't even, you know, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just doing it because I like Koo, and that's just my kind of shtick anyway. And I just happened to catch on a decent bit, and then I had a following from that. And then from then on, it just kind of went up and up. And then like CCC did really well. The best command code for Gwen in all situations is Bunny Lantoria. Yeah, if you just roll the Buster one every time. Like just get Buster at literally every time, and then it's great. It's not even a meme though. If you could like manipulate which color you got, it would be an amazing command code. I don't even think it would be broken. It'd be a little broken just because it'd be so much better than its competition, but it wouldn't like give you OP value. But it would be better than almost all other command codes for DPS units anyway. But you can't, and as such, it's useless. Like it's such a bad command code. What I think would have been better with the Lantoria command code is if it had been two colors, and then they made another command code later that's 2 other colors, and then command code later that's 2 other colors, right? The different combos that you can do, right? Make one that's Buster Art, one that's Buster Quick, one that's Quick Art, right? That would actually be useful, and it wouldn't be OP, right? If you just did it's always Buster, it's always Art, it's always Quick, you know, it might be a little too good. But if they had made it a double, I think like you get one or the other, it'd have been okay. That'd be cool. Now another thing you could also do is have it give you, like Cairo said, performance up depending on the color of the card, and you could just lower the performance. You can make it 5% or something. See if I can kill the 35k one. But if you had a universal, you know, Buster up on a triple Buster unit, and it was 10%, that's too good, really. But the thing is, 5% may not be good enough, right? It's kind of awkward. You know, I don't think I should have cast that because it's not really a good time to crit. I'm never gonna need the guts, like that's no problem, but it's only 50k, I mean, who cares? But seeing big numbers though. Yeah, not even a Summer Servant, and then we just one-shot it there. Not even a Buster Chain. Very necessary. I mean, we're gonna kill it, so I guess I make stars first. But yeah, I'm a lucky bastard. Like, I got super lucky with FGO, and then, you know, FGO ended up coming to NA, so the audience became bigger, right? And I got in when no one else was looking at it, like, just total freebie. Because, for example, when Genshin Impact came out, your odds of being successful there were terrible, because there were so many people trying to be creators for Genshin Impact the second it came out. Because it came out globally, there were so many eyes on it. It was just like a total RNG if you were going to make it or not, even if you made good content. But with FGO, it's like I got in when it was JP only, so there was hardly any competition, and then it became an NA game, and so the audience became bigger. So very lucky in that department. Why am I don't know why I'm Buster chaining. These mobs don't have enough health. I mean, it looks cool. It's fucking 77k, let's go. What I probably should have done was just over these 2 turns, kill 2 snakes and get NP gain. But at this point, I might as well just BBB 3 times in a row. I'm so glad Gwen's animation update isn't garbage. I wish they hadn't changed his NP voice line, but nothing a little editing can't fix. But he got a pretty nice animation update. The flame effects are really nice. Unnecessary crit stars. So I should have given him a different craft essence. These mobs are too weak. I didn't need guts at all. And if I had a different craft essence, I could be hitting a lot harder and just showing off, you know, bigger numbers. Like we could have done Golden Sumo, could have done Victor from the other. What's the Buster one? Victor from the other side, or another moon, or whatever. But you know the one. It gives you Buster up and crit up, and then there's obviously limit over 0. Yeah, because there's the two one. There's the Buster one and the art one. And by the way, the art one is better than the Buster one. Everyone says the Buster one's amazing. It's not. And the only time the Buster one is amazing is if you are constantly critting. And I mean constantly critting. Because every time you don't crit and the crit up doesn't kick in, then it's just like, it's like 15% Buster up, which is okay, but that now you're 10% behind even limit over 0, right? And then so every time you don't crit, you're falling behind. And then so when you do crit, what bonus you get from the crit has to make up for all those times you fell behind. And it normally doesn't, right? You normally don't actually do that. Depends on the setup though. Like, also you have burst things where you're just trying to meet a certain threshold on a certain turn because of break bars. And so the crit buster one, the Victor from the Moon or whatever, it is good for that. Yeah, but there's a lot of 2,400 attack CEs. But that does help it. That really does help it. Like, if you do get it to 100, it definitely helps it against limit over 0. It doesn't necessarily help it against some of the other stuff out there, but it definitely makes it. But you have to actually get it to 100, though. That's what sucks. Because it's not one of those universal CEs. You're like, oh yeah, I should totally get that one to 100, right? It's kind of niche. So I ultimately just need to get a CE drop. Like, I don't want to do all these blue stages because they're super boring. But I think the unlock the harder stages. Let's see which ones we have here. I need to either get to 70,000 points or I need to get a CE drop. Yeah, we'll do an account review in a minute. And stop, chat. Don't stop. Like I'm not gonna do account reviews because one guy asked me 30 times in a row. It's quite the opposite. Like, I'm gonna do account reviews when I'm doing account reviews. And I've said this before. I'm never spamming them because that makes them boring and that makes them bad. It's like I don't want to be like, oh, let's do 20 account reviews in a day, right? That makes them all blend together and not matter. Like, I don't know why I have to say this all the time, because it's obvious, and a lot of creators feel this way. They just won't say it because it's like toxic or something, but it's just the truth. Humans don't like it when you bug them to do something over and over again when they're already aware of it and they've already got their own reasons for not doing it or doing it, or like, oh, I'll do it when this and this happens, and then people are like, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? That never works. No one likes that. Like, no writer wants people like, why is the book not out? Why is the book not out? Why is the book... That doesn't accomplish anything, right? This is a universal thing. It's like when people constantly bug me about the 5-star tier list video, all that does is make me not want to make it, right? Because I already have a lot of considerations in my brain that people aren't going to be thinking about, like time and schedule and, like, you know, editing programs crashing and, you know, file size and all these other things that I have to worry about. And so I've already kind of got in my head, like, what's going on, and then I have to deal with a million people that have no idea what they're talking about. But like, oh, why haven't you made a 5-star tier list video yet? It's like, yeah, that's gonna get me to do it. Like, it's stupid. One of these days, Game of Thrones will continue. Although, I guess for the book series, it's called A Song of Ice and Fire, by the way. Totally different. Free lores, though. I mean, I could be a disembodied voice. You can't confirm or deny here. What is this one? Berserker. It's not Taiga. She's off on the side. Okay, we'll do the bigger Babbage. Wait, that's kind of a farming team. Yeah, that's the next level play, Gray. Although some people, it's like really obvious, right, when they're just trolling. But it's like, on the one hand, you know, I get it, and when people like what you do and want more of it, you know, that's humbling. But it, you know, when people just become nags about it, right? You know, like, you can't ever, like I said with the 5-star tier list video, it's like, that was very stressful making the 3-star and the 4-star one, right? That burnt me out a lot, and I needed to be able to just relax. And then when I just felt like doing another video like that, like, oh yeah, I'll do that now. But then when people remind you of it constantly, you can't relax from it. And, you know, I'm never going to feel like making it, right? Like, that's really is what it is. It's like, that takes a lot of effort to do a video like that. And you have to be in the mood for it. And, you know, I was so burned out, but very happy with what I had done. I was like, okay, and I'll just, you know, relax and, you know, revisit this when I feel like it. But then because people would never shut up about it, I'm never going to, I got so turned off from the idea. And I legitimately, I really do stand by, I don't think a 5-star tier list is very practical. Like, it's not actually useful. It's like, that's just people, you know, wanting to validate their own opinions or make fun of your opinion. That's it. Like, that's all there is. I think there's actually useful information for the 1 to 4 stars because, you know, a lot of players will have them. There's more nuance to those units, you know, but 5 stars are such strong arm value. You know, people know Castoria's OP and so on and so forth. There's like nothing that needs to be said, really. Yeah, sure, there's some sleeper 5 stars out there that some people ignore that are a lot better than people think. But it's like no one goes around saying Tesla's garbage, right? No one says that. Like, you know, all the 5 stars have really good stats. Okay, if you want to support Babbage, what do I want to do here? On's good. Let's go Penth. There we go. Let's get Protoku Bond. Do I have Achilles Bond 11, or did I not buy that? Yeah, I didn't think so. Didn't really care about that stuff in my ult, and I still don't. Oh wow, Gwen's pretty close, though. Okay, I guess 2030 again. You know, if Tesla could ever get some serious screen time in, like, the main story or an event, he probably would get an animation update, but he's normally relegated to being a joke, so, which is ridiculous because he's so famous and OP lore-wise. Really lame they always use him that way these days. Baneful Broccoli. That is a pretty great name. That's a lurker right there. That's such a good name. That's why I love Sanson. You just see a random lurker like that. Yeah, great name. Oh, this stage. Boy, do we not have a setup tailored to this, but we'll make it work. I guess we just crit again on turn 1. It's fine. This should be so good if I had starting NP and could NP into the crits. Okay. Well, it's fucking Hans. Oh wait, I could have just done the star absorb, excuse me. I was gonna say Hans took all the crit stars there, but I don't mind the 50 because I can make Penth crit too. That's worth it. I'll save the Buster up for the NP still. Kind of want to put the art card last, but I'll have faith. You know, again, no event bonus, no Yang CE, none of that, and we don't have Merlin or anything like that. And he just crit for that much. That's crazy, dude. Like, imagine if we summoned, you know, you have your own Grailed Babbage and you summon a friend's Merlin, right? I should have put the art card last, though. I probably would have gotten my NP. Unfortunate. Yeah, Babbage got a nice buff there. And it's pretty easy for him to crit into his NP and then still have the attack up and the NP up and then get decent damage out of that as well. Well, Pint will have to NP without her buffs, but there's only going to be trash mobs left, so... Well, he might live. I'll have faith. Save the NP. Yeah, he's got a big attack up, he's got a big crit up. Does not have a good stat spread, but the 40% attack up for 3 turns makes up for it. Damn, that's pretty good. Man, that means Babbage's giant-ass crit there went to waste. Because everyone's dead. Maybe we can kill 2, kinda doubt it. I wonder how hard Medea will hit when she's NP5, 2k foe, level 120, and then a level 100 Black Grail or something, right? Like, I wonder what she gets to. 12. Like, at that point, it'd be okay, because you're strong arming so much with stats there, that yeah, it wouldn't be enough, and compared to other 120s, it would be a joke, but I wonder if she could kind of fill in for, like, Ushi at that point. Could she be the Ushi of casters at 120? Imagine saying that. Could a 120 Medea be the level 70 Ushi of her class, right? It's so sad. And the thing is, she used to be really good just because of her utility. And she still is kind of good because of that. But there's just so many other units with the same utility that it's not really worth it anymore. I used to always recommend leveling Medea to new players. And I used to always level Medea on my accounts, but now I don't because I'd rather have an Alex now and things like that. And it kind of got worse too because Babbage and Casterku got stronger. So from just because before you got a utility servant that did some assassin killing. Now you just get a utility servant and pretty subpar assassin killing, and then other things have that utility, and then other things do the assassin killing significantly better, so it's hard to justify. She needs a really good buff. She needs like either a buff like Vlad got to fix her NP, but honestly that's not really what I want to see them do, because if they do that, I think what they'll do is they'll upgrade her NP into an unupgraded single target, right? That's not really good enough. I'd want them to upgrade it into an actually upgraded single target art NP. But what I kind of want to see them do is like give her a 100% art up for 2 turns on her second skill or her first skill or something, right? Like that way she gets just way more NP damage in a burst. The sad thing is though, even with 100% art up, she'd hit hard, but she's not gonna hit that hard because I mean her multiplier is just so bad. I mean I'm serious. You can even show this. Here, hold on. I don't have Castoria, but let's find something to hit with Medea here. I can show what I'm talking about. Does this stage let you use whoever you want? I'm gonna summon a friend's caster or Toria, and I'll use like Mozart, right? And we're gonna have just an absurd amount of art up, and she's still not gonna do like that good of damage. So if she gave herself 100% art up on one of her skills, you might on the surface that just seems so broken, but it's not at all. But the best part about it, when she does an art card, it would give her like solid normal card damage, but wouldn't be anything like Mori or anything like that. But she'd have solid normal card damage, and then she would get a lot of NP refund, which would be really nice. Oh, this stage you don't even... Wow. This stage doesn't let... Yeah, oh, fuck. Well, hey, look at this Medea, though. Yeah, I like how they didn't even let me go to the team screen. Like, it just starts the stage, right? You can't do anything about it. Okay, well, we'll get to Medea in a minute here. We gotta deal with the doctor nurse moment here. Yeah, he's like defending Jason right now or something. I'm trying to think of when I want to do my Buster up. It's kind of hard here. I think I'll just do Buster art and then maybe do it next turn. Is Nightingale good? She's fine. It's just she's outclassed by other things. She's not weak or anything, like she's a perfectly good Buster support that can do some normal card damage while she's at it, and she's got some utility with the way they buffed her first skill. But, you know, compared to Merlin, she's not nearly as useful. But she's like a balanced Merlin, right? She's like a fair Merlin. If you were gonna make a single player game out of FGO, you know, she's what you'd want your Buster support to be, right? Or Merlin is just bullshit, gotcha bait nonsense. Well, we didn't get as much NP as I would have liked there. Can I do Buster art? I'm gonna try, and I just hope Asclepius attacks me enough. I'd obviously get it with Buster art, but I'm trying to be greedy here. Okay, Asclepius, I need you to do some high hit count stuff. Okay, one more. There you go. Thanks, buddy. Do I do art? Nah, we'll take advantage of our Buster. But yeah, she is super inferior to Merlin, but she has some utility, because sometimes you don't need all the support Merlin gives you, and you might just want some, you know, see red, press red, normal card action going on, and she can do some damage herself with her anti-humanoid and everything. And she does have the buff removal resistance. No, insta-death. She has insta-death, and then like what's debuff immunity, I think. Which I also have good niche sometimes, but not frequently enough. Damn it, if she had killed there, that'd have been great. But yeah, she's good, not OP, and a lot of people see her as bad because they see OP as good, right? Which is kind of warped. I think we win here. What if she doesn't do 12k though with a Buster card? Oh, 100% crit. Look at that crit spread. I know how to do it. I wouldn't say that Osaka Hime is fun in solos. That's not the way I would word that. She is a unit that is capable of soloing. I'll put it that way. But I don't know about this fun thing. I hope you really like her NP animation. Okay, we didn't quite win when I wanted to there, but worked out. Okay, now we'll show off Medea's damage if she, you know, had a massive art up on her own. One of these stages is going to allow me to summon, like, the units I want here. Work with me here, game. I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone and get some of the main stuff done that I have to get done, while also just showing off LOL Medea damage. Alright, Castoria's art up is 50%, right? Fuck! Okay, not this stage. I don't get why that one made you go to the team screen, but the Nightingale one didn't. That doesn't really make sense to me. I'm just gonna do a free quest. This is stupid. There's like none of these let you just use whatever you want. Although Medea against casters seems pretty painful. I need something here. Okay, there we go. No, I don't want counterclass damage, just want to show her like normal true damage, right? Fuck. See, there's this stage, but like she'll probably fail, right? We'll just make her back road something that can carry when she dies. Because we're not here to be effective, we're here to just show off and raw numbers. Alright, here's what we'll do. We'll do cast. This isn't going to be quite 100% art up, but it's close enough. We're going to do Castoria's art up, and we're going to do Mozart's art up. So it's going to be like 94%. So it's essentially what her damage would be like if she had her own 100% art up. So no event CE. What's something she uses? Formal craft, black grail. We'll do formal craft. That's pretty fair, I think. No event CE because it's kind of cheating. Because we're trying to look at what you would do on her own, and not with what you would do with other units. So, to be clear, this theorized buff, if it happened, you could have that buff and then also have Castoria's buff and everything. But that's true to a lot of other units that she's like compared to. You know, Ushi has her own attack up and art up and all that kind of stuff, and then she can get buffs from Scatty, and that's true for a lot of units out there. So it's kind of like, how good would Medea's damage be in comparison to Babbage and Caster Ku, Ushi, regular Ku, right? What's her MP damage compared to that kind of stuff? And what's her refund? And is it, you know, would all that be balanced? And what I think is if she had 100% art up, I think it'd be completely balanced. I don't think it'd be a problem at all. Alright, we'll just put like Gwen in the back and we'll be fine. Music is super good. Random sabers, let's go. Damn it! Okay, Medea's not an event servant, no event CE, none of that nonsense. Got a pretty strong craft essence. That's giving us 25% damage. It's pretty significant. Okay. So if theoretically Medea's like first skill came with a 2-turn 100% art up, and she had formal craft, this is pretty much what we would see. Let me see here. Right, that starts with humanity damage. I totally forgot that she had that. Smack, I guess the front one. And hey, we'll give her the crits just cuz here. What are we gonna see here, chat? That's so bad. That's so fucking bad. That's so bad. Like, Ushi and all that, so much better than that. That's so bad. And that's with formal craft, right? Most units, when they NP, you know, they're not using a CE that gives as much damage as formal craft. It's so bad! Dude, you could give her a 3-turn 100% art up, and she would not be OP at all, right? Like, cause yeah, you would have that art up, and then you would have the buffs from your support units, so you could go higher than that, but I mean, all the other units are a higher than 40k base. Oh my god, what a joke. Yeah, the loops though. Meanwhile, 100 face, right? You have 100 face over there. I did not forget Mozart's second skill. Why would I use Mozart's second skill? Have you not been listening to any of the words coming out of my mouth here? Like, if I was trying to do as much damage as possible, we would have done Black Grail, we would have done Castoria's attack up, we would have done all kinds of other things we wanted to see. I don't care that I get buffed! Are you not listening to the things that are... What are we testing right now? What are we testing right now? If Medea had a giant art up, we're not testing how much damage Medea does if she gets buff stacked by Mozart and Castoria. Jesus fucking Christ. What is that mode? Good lord, that's fucked up. Oh man, we got 40k, boys. Well, I guess I could technically NP again here. Don't go killing Mozart yet. If he could die next turn, though, that would be good. Actually, him dying there would have been good, because then Gwen would have gotten the charge. Okay, well now we're just here to get through the stage. Yeah, 100% art up does give Medea good normal card damage, kind of. It's not that good though, because again, you know, like Ushi has an attack up, Ushi has a crit up, Ushi has a quick up. That applies to her normal cards too, right? And then Ushi's got the higher damage mod and that kind of stuff. So it still wouldn't be OP at all. And you have stuff like Mori, who gets the giant ass crit up, which is giving more damage than 100% art up would. Like, it would make Medea much stronger. Like, don't get me wrong, her NP damage is still pretty pathetic there, as we've seen. But she would still be, like, she would be pretty good if she had 100% art up as a skill. Like, that would be pretty good. But it would not, I still don't think she would be on par with, like, Ushi and 100 phase, Ku, that kind of stuff. But in case my sass wasn't clear enough, there's no point in doing Mozart's art resist down, because that's not what we're here for. We're not trying to do as much damage as possible. We're trying to show what it would be like if Medea had, you know, her own art up buff. And if we did Mozart's second skill, she would that would be like 120% art up, which is not what we're trying to see. Now though, we just want to murder things. Let's see here. Tempted to just do art, but we'll do that and see if we get lucky and get a defense down. Well, no, a lot of her loop ability does come from her overcharge, but having that much art up for that one turn, that was a lot from that art card. Now, in the consecutive turns, we didn't see it, because the later turns, we didn't have Mozart's art up anymore. But what we were suggesting would be like a 2 or a 3 turn art up, so it would last. Where Mozart's obviously doesn't last. It's a lot of things though. It's the fact that she has an AoE multiplier as single target, but she doesn't actually hit multiple targets. And then she has, this is a big one, she has no damage up skill, right? Out of all of her skills, none of them give her any kind of damage up, and then she also has the caster damage mod. So all those things put together are pretty oof, right? Like if it was just one of those things, it wouldn't be so bad, but because it's all of those things, it's pretty bad. Let me see here. What is her attack stat anyway? Because some 3 stars get pretty good attack stats and some don't. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. At level 70, she's about 8,500 when she's 1k foed. She's just shy of that. It's definitely not the best I've seen, but it's definitely not the worst either. Man, Gwen came in and the third hand is basically nothing but Gwen cards. I'm actually casting that art up because I want Medea not to die. You know what? It'll be fine. Although he has like no battery right now, so maybe not. Should have just brought another unit with battery here. Gwen, buddy, 90%. Oh my god. Okay, sure game. Yep, there it is. That'd have been really nice. That'd have been really nice on the next turn. This is why Camelot fell. Yeah, it's part of it. No trash mobs spawned. I didn't even know that could happen. I've never seen 0 trash mobs here. I value Gwen's normal cards more than Medea's NP. Who are you talking about, Otto? Shiba, perhaps? Because that would definitely be good on Shiba. Because Shiba, although it doesn't have an upgraded NP and all that kind of stuff, she's at least actually single target, and then she does have attack up and art up. Medea? I don't think that would help Medea, really. 20% would just be nothing. Like, if they buffed her NP to be a normal single target NP, and then they also gave her a 20% art up, that would be good. But if she just gave herself a 20% art up, I mean, like her NP, like right here, we have 100% art up and she's not even doing 40k. If she had a 20% art up, I mean, it'd just be nothing. Like, her damage is just so low. But like, on Shiba, I think that'd actually be pretty good. Fuck, I thought Gwen would kill there. I put the NP in there just so that the wheel would, like, I wouldn't go to a third animation or anything. Clearly, Medea got the kill, so she's the strong unit here. Yeah, Star Bomb would be nice because then you could NP and then use her own Star Bomb and have, like, if you wanted to, or you could spread it out. You have some nice options there. Can I give some of these to my main account? God damn, I have 99 over here. That's nice. Guess I don't level a lot of Lancers on my ult account. It's pretty much Vlad and Proto Ku, and I guess regular Ku too. I mean, Medea getting a 50% attack up would be better than nothing. You know, 50%'s decent, but overall, like the giant ass art up on a skill, I think would be better, or on her NP. But really, what they just should do, I just don't think they're going to. They should just buff Medea so her NP becomes single target proper, and then an upgraded single target proper, not a vanilla one, and then also upgrade one of her skills to have NP up or attack up or art up or whatever. Probably at that point NP up. Because if she gets a proper NP, she doesn't really need to have better normal card damage or any of that. Let's see, if we want to show off what Medea's NP damage would be like, if she had a 20% art up on her NP, like Caster Ku has the 20% buster up for NP, we could just do, I guess Hohenheim or Boudica. This account doesn't have Boudica max though. Does it have Hohenheim? Wait, is Hohenheim 20%? I think he is. I think he's 20% and then he's got the 50% gain. Let me make sure. Yeah, he's 20%. I have a feeling this account doesn't have a maxed Hohenheim though. Let me see. Couple of apples there. I could always slot my Boudica. That's another way to do it. I should put in someone that I want bond with. We'll keep Formalcraft. It's just Formalcraft does kind of skew it, but she is, because of her toolkit, she's able to bring CEs like Formalcraft fairly easily. That's like an advantage of her. Fuck, I didn't put in Hohenheim! Oh, crap. Well, we can do Mozart's second skill, but it's not max rank, so this is a bit less than 20%. But I think it'll still demonstrate what I'm talking about. I mean, this is just gonna be such a giant-ass nothing burger. Because, like, again, you know, when you look at the other classes, you know, they just do so much better than this. I mean, 25k. And again, that's with Formalcraft. That's with bloody formal craft. That's 50k when you're counterclassing, right? Like that's not, it's not ideal. Like sure, it'd be better than nothing. Like sure, I'd certainly take the art up over nothing, like 100%. But kind of be a drop in the bucket there. She needs a lot more drastic changes, I think. Now we're stuck with this Medea setup again. Like how I'm target switching, like yeah, we don't want to overkill too much because you know 17k. Big 10k. One thing that is cool about Medea though is her second skill I think really is slept on. When it's maxed out, it is such a short cooldown and a pretty large heal, and it's actually pretty good at that point. Like it's not enough on its own to just make her like a big survivability unit, but if when combined like working with David or something, it can add up. Like it's only a 4-turn cooldown. Like that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's crazy how much it changes. At rank 1, it's a 500 heal. At rank 10, it's 2,500. It escalates quite a bit there. Thankfully, the archer damage nerf is not really that big of a deal because it's pretty small. The thing is, none of the classes that have like the negative damage, it's not really that big of a deal, like for any of them. Even caster. The reason casters are so bad is because their toolkits are bad. Like they just don't make free-to-play casters that are good for damage dealing. They just don't. You know, if Medea was a writer, she's not fixed, right? Like none of they're just Babbage is close. I will say Babbage and Castraku are starting to be good, and unironically, Babbage and Castraku for AoE units are actually better than a lot of the other classes that they're in competition with. Like, no offense, but like Romulus and Hector for Lancer suck. Like, they're nothing compared to Castraku and Babbage. Even with the Lancer having the better damage mod, they're way behind. The reason why Babbage and Castraku don't really they don't feel like the Ushi of casters or the Ku of casters is because you have to use them for single target as AoE. Right, that's why. If Babbage was just a single target unit, he would be fine. He would be totally fine to be like the Ushi of casters, right? He'd be completely solid. It's not the damage mod, it's the toolkit, and it's really obvious because when you look at assassins don't have this problem. Assassins have the exact same damage mod as casters. Like I have seen person after person after person, like on Discords and Reddits and stuff, you know, act like the big problem with casters is their damage mod, and that's why there's no good free-to-play caster and stuff. It's nonsense, right? Because, again, assassins have the same damage mod, and they have 100 face. Like, there's just no caster on par with 100 face. No way. Like, absolutely not. And no one's like, oh man, 100 face isn't good enough. Right? Like, assassins really have no shortage of good units that can get out there and get shit done, right? Where with casters, it's kind of a yikes. Okay, if Mozart could die now, that would be great. I'm trying to keep Castoria alive, but I don't want to do survival stuff because I don't want Mozart to live, so getting a little awkward in here. But yeah, Hector and Romulus, to the dismay of my chat, are just not that good of AoE units. Like, there's a reason when I do account reviews, I never actually recommend anyone level them. Even if they have 0 AoE Lancers, it's just not worth it. Like, you're better off, you know, just using single target stuff on those stages, or using Spartacus or Darius, or you're summoning a support or whatever. It's more worthwhile to just find other ways to deal with your lack of an AoE Lancer than bringing, like, Hector, right? Now, Hector can be useful, but it's more for, like, challenge quests. You have to do budget stuff and things like that. It's not for farming. And when he is useful in challenge quests, it is so few and far between that it's not worth the effort. Yeah, I wouldn't mind them adding more support to Hector. That'd be kind of cool. You could do both though. And Hector's close. I'll say that. Hector is close to being good. There's two main issues with Hector. He's just not quite enough oomph for either of the things that he does, damage or support. And then he's very reliant on being 10-10-10. Like, he's very reliant on being on 10-10-10. And even when he is 10-10-10, it's still RNG, right? Like, the stuns still being RNG at 10-10-10, I think is pretty dumb. And if they could have not done that, if it was just 100% at 10, I think that would have been a lot better. Alright, let's see what Gwen can do here. I guess I might as well switch out. What did I bring? I guess Waver. Well, we have no crit chance. This really won't help, but maybe we get lucky. Hello, Star Absorb command code. Alright, get 50% crit. I'll take it. If we crit, it's dead. Not with that one, though. Didn't matter. Damn, pure overkill on our extra attack, too. Gwen's normal Gwen... Okay, obviously Gwen has buffs, but so did Medea, right? I'm just saying, Gwen Buster non-crit for the same damage, actually more damage. Medea, when she had the 100% art up, did 39k with that first NP. Gwen just did 41k with the Buster card, although he is counterclassing, so I guess that does change things. But still, that's kind of sad. Let's see if we can get a bullshit crit before our NP. Nope. Wanted to put all that crit up to use. I actually might not kill here, we'll see. Yeah, we did not. Damn it, and if I had done like a proper combo, I probably could have killed her there. Okay, surely that'll kill her. There we go. Actually, a level 70 Medea versus a level 90 Waver. Waver probably is a better DPS. And then while he's at it, he's giving you team-wide support, so... But that is 5-star versus 3-star, so it's not exactly fair. There's not a lot of 3-stars that will outdo 5-stars. Well, the thing is, like, Ushi will out DPS Reigns, no problem. Alright, let's do some of these other bonus stages. On's not really, like, he's a pretty bad DPS. He's got the crit up, but he's a 65. Like, it's not ideal. Well, we do have that Boudica. Why not? This account doesn't have Romulus, though. Damn it, that's my other account. I think this is the caster Gilius stage. Giles, Gilius. Piece of shit, Wormeye. What do we use here? Man, I wish I had Romulus over here. Boudica is unironically really cool when you have Romulus because it's over 100% damage up. It's crazy. Well, what do we want to work with? Some kind of art DPS. What do I have as art DPS on this account? Well, there's 100 face, but that's a terrible idea. Music is looping. Good music, though. Go with Zelda music here. Okay, art DPS. Don't have a lot on this account. Got Shiki. Got Shiba. Oh boy. Wow. Seriously, I thought my main account didn't have a lot of art DPS. Look at this. It's 100 phase. Then Shiki. There's nothing until Shiki. And then I don't think there's anything else until Robin. Literally, it's Robin, Shiki, and 100 face. That's it for art DPS. This is not a great time for Boudica then. What do I do? Do I have Ricky? Please tell me I leveled Ricky on this account. He's 10, 10, 10 on my main. Surely I would level him over here. Oh my god, did I not level Ricky on my ult account? I mean, I guess in truth it doesn't need it. Between Ushi and Achilles, it's not like it has need of it, but that would have been really good here. Yeah, I don't think I've leveled Ricky on my, Lost, please. That's... okay, you know what? Fine. This is terrible idea. What am I looking at right now? Let's see. We need to keep her alive. There's no way we're doing the double salami nonsense here. Besides, you have to use Boudica, so... there's Hans, there's David. Could bring another rider and try to go fast. The Rosh. That's a Rosh at the start. I think that's fair. Skip a wave, essentially. Oh yeah, I have Canis on my ult account for the interlude. Forgot about that. I know I will regret that pick right there if I do that. There's so little to work with Salami. Why didn't I level? I might just bring Ushi. I know that like, this is like so counter synergy on this team, but it's so much better. I mean, she gives an attack up to Salami Sandwich. But anything like art, or I don't think support is good. Like I don't think another support is good at all. Like Han's just too slow. Oh, Ushi is so boring though. I need more art DPS on all of my accounts, man. Like it's a real problem. Level 60 Ryoma. Yep, he's maxed on my main, and I have all the mats to max him on this account. I just haven't bothered. But I did do it on my main account at least. Damn it. This sucks. My 2 art units are assassins, dude. I'm drawing such a blank here. Like, I just don't have... Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on, chat. I know what we're doing here. Hopefully I have what I need to do what I'm planning. Fuck! Fuck! No wonder I didn't do it! God damn it! It's always those! It's always those, dude! Oh my god! I was gonna, you know, like, try to have some taunts and stall, and then when it's the appointed turn, have him come in, and then get her skill, and then use his battery, right? It's gonna be a whole thing. Fuck, man! Why couldn't these be in the treasure chests? You know, we might unironically, if we don't, because Ushi is so boring, it probably is just George then, because I don't know what else I could do, really. Okay. We're desperate. So she needs to have, like, generic value here. Hey, at least he'll protect the salami sandwich, so there's at least that. I could bring in another taunt if I wanted to before George came in, but I think it's okay. Okay, George is a DPS. George is a DPS. Oh god. Oh god, not that. Might actually, if Virtuous CE was leveled, this would be a time for that. Although no, that makes him a, that's an, get the event bonus and we don't want that. Okay, give me Bond. We'll go with that. He's got such a long way to go. Okay, we'll have Atalante come in first if someone dies, because she's useless and we don't want the back two carrying. Well, we want to try to get as much value out of the 3 units here as possible. Don't think this stage drops chests, but you never know. Okay, switch Mystic Code is garbage. Do that. This loading screen. I like the dinosaur. Okay. I guess we cast her third skill right away. I'm not confident that we're going to see value out of that, but we shall try. Might be pushing it on Arash's damage here. He's not grailed. But kill the front one. Okay, he got it. So Lost, how often do you do stupid things with your salami? Could do the art up right now. A lot? Yeah, I figured. She is fun, actually. And you can make some really weird things happen with like the DPS coming in to get the third skill. Good turn, good turn. Guess that's fine. What CE does Boudica have? We have apparently 0 starting NP. What is this? What is this? I think it's like NP per turn. One of the event CEs? It's not the damage one. I've been doing taunt setups with Salami since the day she came out, like literally as soon as she came out. I guess this one. Why can't Boudica's animations be better? That flip back is so bad. I like how as soon as we don't have taunt, they just completely blast Salami there, just immediately. Like no hesitation, just boom. Might be able to kill them both. Probably not though. Oh crap, I think our skill's gonna go off. Oh, we crit, thank goodness. I was gonna say it's gonna go off before we get to the third wave, but I think we're good now. I mean, that's been like the day one standard way to use Salami is just taunt walls, and then DPS at the end. But there is some more creative stuff out there, like the JP 1 to 2-star guy's done some pretty interesting stuff. Okay, let's see here. Okay, it goes off after this, so we have to use everything. Alright, George. What do you got? We are seriously using George as our DPS here. I guess she gets a little bit out of it too. This is going to be interesting because what's going to happen is we get to do the Boudica buffs again, which is actually kind of cool. Because then we'll get the attack up again, and then we'll get the defense up again. Dragon Cthulhu, yeah, it's more like Dagon really, but like when you look at all the lore they gave to the thing he summons, it's definitely inspired by Dagon. Honestly, that's not that bad. Again, no event bonus. That was just vanilla. That's not too bad. And he's very tanky right now, and we're about to get tankier. Honestly, what's cool is even if this boss had the damage output of like God Juna, he'd be taking no damage. Because he had enough defense up there. Well, do it again. I don't know why I cast that. Probably should have done George's NP first, because he might have actually broke. He probably wouldn't have, but he might have. He'd be right on the edge. And then that would mean Salami's NP would go into the guts. Where now, Salami's damage is basically going into the void. Although I guess we do get the curse, which is nice, but... Never mind. Never mind. Salami with the 120. Let's go. Triple attack up, I guess. Yeah, George only doing 89k. Underestimating Salami there. Hey, look at the dots taking a guts for us. It's actually good. You know, this went a little bit better than I thought it would. I wouldn't say it went well, but... That was pretty smooth. I wish they'd had, like, done more at this stage, like given him 10 guts or had him resurrect a bit more health with each guts or something, but they were kind of boring with it. Guess I could have cast her at 3rd skill again, because these have a bit more health than I was thinking, but it should be fine. Oh, the music. I really need to use this as victory music in a video at some point. It's actually weird that I haven't done that. And there's a lyrical version of it that is hilarious, because like, you know, the way they do the lyrics, it sounds normal for the style of song, but what the lyrics actually are, it's all about lying and being a piece of crap. Hey, Amalor, what's up, man? Thank you for the 2 gifted subs. A lot, man. This was a more fun setup than I thought it would be, to be honest. Certainly not meta, but it worked out. Ricky would have been a lot better than George, though. Although it was nice that George protected Salami. That wasn't too bad. But with just a typical like taunt wall setup, you can get like double Salami setups and things like that. Even single Salami setups can be decently good. They're not meta at all. They're meta for a few stages, though. When they are meta, though, it's a very specific kind of stage that they're good for. But there's been a few main story fights and challenge quests where Salami has been unironically good. But she's not one of those bronzes. She's no Qin Gong, right? Qin Gong and Hans and even George are unironically good like all of the time. I'm too much of a boomer to give anime recommendations. Anything I would recommend would probably have come out like 15 years ago. I'm gonna say like, you know, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, which I stand by is a really good anime, but you know, I'm not, you know, most people don't care about the stuff from, you know, that long ago, but yeah, I don't really keep up with all the seasonal anime nonsense. Yeah, I always say my favorite anime is like Black Lagoon, Bakano, Ghost in the Shell, maybe Code Geass is pretty good. There's some other good ones out there though, but that's what comes to mind generally. Bakano is just the best. Alright, I don't think we have any of the super big ones still. So many free quests I haven't beaten yet. Okay, chat, we're doing some silly setups. What How about some Percival? I mean, we could do Vertra there, but 666. Why has it got to be 666? Do Nuke Head, do some Buster stuff. Let me look on my main account real quick. Come on, let me minimize Dex. Work with me. Dex. There, God. Samsung Dex, ladies and gentlemen. You literally do the thing to minimize over and over and over and it doesn't work. And then it just randomly works. It's like, okay. Use Romulus? We haven't used Romulus in a while. That doesn't actually sound bad. I know a lot of people with 10-10-10 Virtuos actually, they're just all NP1. Yeah, Romulus sounds pretty good. It was either going to be that or like Percival, but we've used Percival a decent amount recently. I'm not giving him command codes because I am lazy. What is with the black bars? What? It like didn't size the screen correctly. Hopefully it'll fix itself when we go through a loading screen. Like how I just logged in. There we go. I was just saying I wasn't showing up. Okay, now the screen is correct again. Yeah, I might throw some tickets at Vertra. We'll see what happens. Kind of forgot that the Christmas rerun would even be a thing. Well, there is the other Romulus. I've got the other Romulus leveled. But, those animations. Alright, what do I want here? This Buster stuff. Buster's so easy, though. It's like Chen Gong. Who knew? What's something else I could do? We could do Leonidas. Got that, second skill buff now. What about Hans for the stars? Try to get a crit thing going. Might start with Arash again, because these first waves are kind of always jokes. Hopefully I don't regret this. I'll do Golden Carp, so I'm starting NP and then I can do crit stuff. K-scope? I guess 2030. If I can find one. There we go. Alright, hopefully it wouldn't go any further back than that. If it did, I guess Chen, and then I'll just get Bond on Protoku. DPS Chen, let's go. Anniversary Blonde, or is that too much? It's never too much. So many stars, let's go. I know, the Mozart, that's his first anniversary CE, it's so good. I wish it was a costume so badly. Give Mozart an animation update and give him that as a costume. I'd buy it. If it was like 15 bucks for that skin, I would buy it, 100%. So good. And then I could actually support the game. But we can't have that. Can't have Normie supporting the game now. It's gotta be gambling or nothing else. Oh. This stage. Boy, do I regret bringing Arash now. That don't do anything. What's the play here? Really sucks about Arash is he'll bring the team down to 2 units so that the damage from the enemies will be more focus fired, which I don't want, especially on Hans. But not much I can do about it, so Hans probably won't get his MP here, but hopefully he gets close. Not as close as I would like. Too greedy, please roll for coins instead. Yeah, that sounds like DW. Okay. Well, Leonidas has damage. Now this guy removes buffs, which would ruin everything I want to do with Leonidas, so I don't want that. I want to Grailed Leonidas. Oh boy, I want to Grailed Leonidas. I might even Grail it on this account, that way I've got like a non-Grailed one on my main account, but if I want to do something fun with a Grailed one, I can summon it. I've been wanting to do that for a while. I kind of want to do the Leo Brave Chain because it's cool. And he'll probably get his NP. But I could just NP with Romulus right now. It's probably better to NP with Romulus right now, it's just kind of disappointing. Okay, how Roman is we? I'm trying to remember, does he only apply Roman with Buster crits? Or is it with just crits? It's with crits. So I could do his art crit and then make his NP do more damage, but that's a lot of waste of refund. Thinking we don't do that. But it would give the NP gain bonus to Leonidas. Nah, it's not worth it. It's fun, but it's not worth it. I wish Leo hadn't gotten so much like tempting damage there. It's fun to make Leo do stuff when you can. Oh, I love that NP, man. It's one of my favorites. Everybody's Roman. Could we NP again before the Shark NPs? I kind of doubt it. Leo with the NP gain, though. I could art crit again. Why didn't I do my Buster up? That would have been, well, I guess that's not necessarily that good, but I mean, it would have been more damage. Well, I guess for change of strategy here. Yeah, I should have done both Buster ups for the NP, but this is fine. Actually live in Rome? For real? That's crazy. One of my favorite things though about getting into YouTube and streaming and everything is I have met just so many cool people from, you know, so many walks of life, different viewpoints and from different places. It's crazy. It's very enjoyable. Okay, I can't really stress enough of how cool that's been. Well, Romulus kind of shredded everything there. See, Lost, excuse me, I got a cough drop there. Lost is my, like, brother in arms, right? He's very similar to me in a lot of ways, where we're both boomers, we're from, like, the same era and all that. We definitely have similar opinions on things. But then there's a lot of other people, you know, with all kinds of other... It's nice, right? I meet a lot of people that are similar to me. Then you get the Zoomers, right? The kiddos. But then you have, like, Arjuna, I love Arjuna, who's my senior, right? So, yeah, it's fun. I'm building a giant Lego Coliseum. Oh my god, let me see this. Is this true? Are you actually gonna build that? I didn't realize that was a thing. That's funny. Well, good luck, say. Dude, I loved Legos so much as a kid. And my dream, I'm not kidding, my dream is if I can make it to the retirement age, right, and retire, well, I'll do many things with my spare time. But one of the things I really want to do is I want to have a room dedicated to like model building and just Legos. And I'm going to buy all kinds of like old Lego stuff and just make dumb crap. It's a great way to kill time, man. But yeah, I got plenty of plans if I'm able to make it to that, to the golden years, if you will. Okay, let's see here. I think we have to do like those blue stages soon, but I don't want to. I need a freaking CE drop. I just want to use Proto Coup and see how he compares to regular Coup. Because regular Coup can beat the challenge quest like super casual, no big deal. Let's do a few farming stages and like denial, and it'll drop, right guys? It'll totally drop. Streamer luck, right? See, when you say something, you jinx it. What does this account want to do for farming? Well, I definitely want to summon just whatever has the thing there. Let's see, this stage was I think it's 3-1-1, but it can be 3-1-2 or 3-1-1 or 3-1-3. It's a weird one. Mordred would be good here, but this account doesn't have it. Gwen's good. Prefer to not rely on the support if I can help it. Masashi's good. Shame I haven't done her NP upgrade because I haven't beat Shimosa because I don't want her NP animation, but she'll do fine as is. Can't do a Raj, could do Spartacus. Have to do Switch Mystico then though. Actually, this kind of setup probably won't work because I'm gonna want to bring as many of these as possible. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do this style of team. Well, I could just do something generic like this. Let's see. This event becomes a lot easier to farm when you can limit break the CE because then you get 100% chest spawn, which is generally enough, and I think it caps at that, although events like this can be weird. And then it takes up way less space on your team. So I would have to either get a drop or get to... Oh god. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, did I miss one? Hold on, let's see where we're at here. I feel like most of my accounts are able to have it at this point. Why don't you give hero proofs? He's so much better. I'll take these lures though. Okay, there's that. Yeah, I'm still missing one for the... I wonder if both of my other accounts had just gotten it as a drop by now. Oh, no, I didn't buy one. There we go. I thought something was fishy here. Okay, that'll make my life way easier. I looked a second ago, I just missed it. Oh man, this is a good song. Original Fable. Always double check when there's 2 event CEs that you're not feeding the wrong one to the wrong one. Don't start with me, Zaw. Don't you bring that in here. That's toxic. Okay, I guess I could do Spartacus then, if I'm gonna do it like this. That is not Spartacus. That is a fluffy boy. I think the first wave, they have like 50k, which is actually quite a bit then. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe Spartacus is not the one then. I have a lot of things that could turn 1 NP. Let's see. I mean, he could do 50k if I do like the buffs from Waver. I could do Brunhilde. She'd need a bit more help though. I'd have to like cast Waver stuff right away. Could do Achilles, that's too expensive. I could do Artoria, but that's pretty expensive. Goes in. What's her NP rank? I could just do Gwen on turn 1, but then you have to do something else for the final wave. Well, let's see if we can make Spartacus work. Give it a try. Husk is making so much noise right now, and I have no idea why. Like, I'm doing all this like crazy racket in my house right now. Okay, I bet you I don't have Spartacus's passives. Just out of curiosity, let's go. God, how come when you're in that menu, you can't go straight to like the leveling menu or the command code menu or the passive menu? I don't understand why you have to back out, go through the fucking, you know, like, because if there's a story, you have to like skip the story again, and you have to go through the message that says, are you sure if you start this stage you have to, you know, like all that nonsense again, like ridiculous. There's no way this account is going to have like any coins, I feel like. 27 coins. Yeah, not even. How much QP do FP do I have over here? A million. So I could probably get Spartacus's passives if I wanted to, at least one of them. But I don't have the will. Well, that would make farming a lot easier, because then he would start 50% starting NP, and then he would be at 80%, and the thing, he'd have his like NP without any help, and then he'd also have a damage up effect, which that's the important thing, is to have a damage up effect. This is not looking very promising right now. I don't think they're gonna have the damage that I want. The problem is that I'd have to use Waver's skill here if I did like this. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, I've got Spartacus's passive on my main account. I'm actually worried he won't have enough damage, even with this. might have to unironically use Artoria. I pretty much never use Artoria for anything, but he's got it, but it's still kind of bad though because I have to use Waver. Oh, I could give Gwen a damage CE. I don't have to give him K-Scope. Though it's less clicks. I'm prepping for 6th anniversary on NA. Yeah, honestly, it's not a mistake. Like, especially if you like 3 stars, or 1 to 3 stars, it's the only way to get a lot of coins. So if you can get like 5 million FP and go through inventory hell for like a day, you can actually really get somewhere with your coins, so it's not a bad idea at all. And while you're at it, you'll get a bunch of the XP embers and stuff too. So then while you're cleaning out your inventory, if you're starting to work on 120 on someone, you can be giving the embers you're getting to the 120, or one that's going for 120. You're cleaning out your inventory and leveling up the thing that you like really want to supercharge. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. I don't think this is going to do 200k. But you've got about 2 years, so how much FP can you get? Yeah, that's not even close to enough damage. Obviously it kills, but that's because of the normal cards. Not the most reliable setup. Probably can do better. I think Artoria might be better than Spartacus. Although I just clicked the button that won't let me adjust the team, but whatever. I'll do it one more time and then we'll go back to doing the side stages. I just want to see if I can get a YOLO CE drop. You never know. So what do you think, chat? Next event, rerun or Saber Wars 3? Or something else entirely? I kind of feel like it's going to be a rerun, and then it's going to be a new event like Saber Wars 3 or something. Well, yeah, Dead Week in here somewhere. That's true, but whenever something new does happen, I do think rerun is probably next. But yeah, Dead Week's pretty standard. In a way, we're already in a Dead Week, because although an event is going, it's like nobody cares anymore. At least the ending of this event wasn't too bad. Like, I was really bored with this event for quite a while, but the last chunk of it, there was enough to mess around with. The challenge quest was a little disappointing, though. Guess we could have Gwen nuke this one, see how that does. Like, the challenge quest is okay for just, like, mucking about. But, I don't know, it's not really a challenge quest that I'm gonna remember, right? Like, even the Idol challenge quest is pretty memorable gameplay-wise. I mean, there's nothing hard about the Dino quest. Like, if you're struggling with it, it's more of a, like, a newbie account problem or whatever. But, like, seriously, my Steno account could beat the challenge quest. Like, there's so many units that can just instantly trivialize it. Like, so much more effort to beat, like, the Idol event challenge quest or something like that. And she's just a giant HP meatbag, and she only has 2 actions per turn. You can completely ignore the gimmick and it doesn't matter. And then Ku can solo it, and it's not like Ku has to work to solo it or you have to min-max and figure out every little thing. Like, no. Like, you can super autopilot Ku and he can solo it with excess value. Right? And some not alter ego, some foreigners can do it too, because, you know, foreigners versus Berserker, lol. And it's not that hard for a budget setup either. Like, it's just a Berserker with a lot of health, right? Something that would make it a lot harder, though, is if if the challenge quest had 3 actions. If she had 3 actions per turn instead of 2, that would make it quite a bit harder. Because she does hit decently hard, and she is a berserker, so she's counterclassing most things. And you know, she has a lot of health. But because she only has 2 actions per turn, it's just not threatening enough. And not only is Van Gogh a foreigner, so she takes very little damage from the boss. Van Gogh is a child, and children take less damage in that challenge quest, so she just doesn't take any damage there. And then Van Gogh's a decent, like, tanky unit anyway. Okay. Oh, that's the one. Easy pick. Not really a QP setup anymore, but whatever. It's more for when events aren't going on and I remake the teams for something. If I want to make a QP team, I'd use this slot. I haven't farmed QP on this account though in ages. Here's a classical setup. If the early mobs actually did any damage, you could bring a taunt and then bring in Mozart that way without a switch mystic code, but I do not expect these mobs to do that kind of damage. Back row's probably not gonna matter. Just get Protoku Bond. Gotta get them coins. You know what? Let's do that just for the extra. It's not doesn't do so good on damage, but it's 10% more starting NP. Do I not have Bonten Mozart on my ult account? I don't. Damn it! This would have been a good time for that. I guess Star Bomb. A lot of games don't really focus on their main story as much as FGO does. Although it's not like FGO's that much better. I mean, it takes them like 7 months sometimes. And that's when they do focus on their main story. Arc Knights, though, just puts out really good stages in their events. Like, they're a lot of fun. Let's see, how long... It probably will be a while before we get 6.5 in FGO. Let's see. What month are we in here? They might try to get it out at the end of the year. Yeah, maybe December. They really like doing main stories in December. They do that all the time. If you go through their history, you can see it where they put out, like, they really adjust their schedule to try to make sure they get a main story out in December. So I could see that. That's enough time, and 0.5s aren't as, like, hype. They don't put as much effort into... I mean, they did not put as much effort into 5.5 as they did Lost Belt 5 or Lost Belt 6. Like, not even close. So I don't expect them to put as much effort into 6.5. But you never know. It might surprise us. They could do Rasputin at any time. Wouldn't surprise me, though, if he ends up being like Vinch and he'll be summonable before he's actually having his big moment in the story. Because Vinch's big moment in the story is probably 6.5, which we already have her in the game. I doubt 6.5 is gonna have Kotomine in it. You never know though, I mean it could be. Because, you know, there's not that much Alien God stuff left, so they have to do it sometime. But I don't really expect him to do anything super major until 7. But you never know, they're gonna like do some weird crap, I have a feeling. Like there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening that there's just no way you're gonna be able to predict. And like Fuyuki's gonna be a thing, but that could just be a flashback. It could be a side story. It could be even if it could be part of Lost Belt 7. You just go to Fuyuki for a bit, right? It's not necessarily gonna be its own whole thing, but maybe it will be. Yeah, Kotomine being an anniversary servant would not surprise me. I suspect they'll just rate Vinch up again in 6.5, assuming she's in 6.5, which I think she will be. I think she's gonna be the main villain. But that's not gonna get people super hyped because she's, you know, only like 6 months old at that point. Not even quite 6 months. But they'll still rate her up, and then they'll just rate up other new things too. There'll probably be another new 5-star, and probably some new 4-stars and stuff. And yeah, Lost Belt 7 is South America. Right, those things have guts until Big Boy dies. I want Mozart, but everyone has their NP. Little awkward here. Damn. Mozart going to waste. Who do you think is the Grand Berserker? Beastly. And there is no Grand Berserker. That's just not how. I do not know why I have to talk about this all the time. I mean, I like how Nasu came out and said what I've always been saying, right? Like Nasu literally said what I've been saying for years in an interview, and very plainly, and just right there, and people still don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand why people think there's like this set in stone, you know, grand for each class. When since the beginning, since they introduced what grands were, right, and since they started, like, since they first told you about them, they never articulated it that way. Ever. They immediately were wording it like, you know, just things can be summoned as grands, right? And like the container is stronger, and you know, Guadia pretty much said that right off the bat. But for some reason, from the very beginning, for all time, everyone's like, the one grand of each class. I don't get it. I don't know what the wiki says about grands, but I doubt they even put it that way. I suspect, you know, they're aware that there's multiple candidates, and it's just based around, you know, the world just summons something, and then, you know, what gets summoned as the grand is based on what it needs, and then the region, and all that stuff. Now, something we'll probably see at least one grand of each class, and we'll probably see 2 of caster or something. We'll see. But you know, we probably will see a Grand Berserker, but you know, there's no telling when. I don't know. I feel like they didn't plan out the Grand system very well, which is funny because the game is named after it. But I really don't think they planned it out that well, because we're about to go into Lost Belt 7, and we've seen a Grand. Well, we haven't technically seen a Grand Caster, but we kinda did, but we really didn't. You know, it was Guadia pretending. But we know of Grandcasters, right? We know of things that can be Grandcasters, but we don't really see one. But then, so we've seen a Grand Archer, and we've seen a Grand Lancer, but they even say Romulus normally can't even be a Grand Lancer. That was just like circumstances that allowed him to get to be summoned as a Grand. Like normally you'd just be like a Lancer. And normally it'd be hard to summon, period, but he'd normally just be a Lancer, not, he wouldn't even be a candidate for a Grand, is the way they put it. Anyway, is that it? Jesus. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen an Archer and a Lancer. Oh, Gramps, of course. We've seen Gramps in Camelot. So we've seen 3. And we kind of have seen 4, but not really. But we're about to get, we're getting close to Lost Belt 7 here. And we haven't even seen half, of a roster because, like, they're gonna, want to show at least one of in each class, I would think. But I kind of maybe at the end they're just gonna summon 7 Grands, like for some big thing at the end. I'm also a bit confused about this, but if a servant is a Grand, does that mean only they can be the Grand until their job is done? I don't think so, but probably in that timeline, right? Like, if the world summons Orion in Lost Belt 5 to be the Grand Archer, I don't think it can summon another Grand Archer, right? I would expect, because what they've said, now they haven't, I'm guessing, but I think there's a lot to back up what my guess is here. So they've said the Grail War is derivative, it's a man-made system that's copying the Grand Summoning system. It's a dumbed down version of the Grand Summoning system. So it's like a copycat. And the Grail War summons one of each class. It can't summon 2 Berserkers, right? Now, people can break the rules and fuck with shit and mess things up and, summon more of one class, but they could, if they were going to do that for Grands, they'd say it's abnormal too, right? So normally the Grail summoning system only summons one of each class, and when it summons Avenger, it takes up the slot of Berserker, and you don't summon a Berserker, right? If you summon Gunner, it takes up the slot of Archer, and you don't summon an Archer. So I think it's the same for Grands, right? It could summon one of each class, and then it couldn't summon another one unless, those went away and you did new ones. But in different timelines and in different worlds and stuff, they're all probably independent. They don't, give a shit. It's just like different timelines of different Grails wars going on at the same time. So if like timeline X needs to summon a Grand Archer in Greece, so it summons Orion or something, and then in timeline Y, in Romania or something, it needs to summon a Grand Archer, it would probably summon something completely different. But yeah, that's how I would assume it would be. But they haven't said, really. They've never said. Maybe it can summon, 9 Grands of each class at the same time, but I highly doubt it. Actually, as far as what they have said, there is no Grand Assassin, anymore. There can't be one. Because Nasu said Assassin is unique, and it was the only class that only had one candidate. And from what they have said, Gramps basically can't be a Grand anymore, which doesn't really make any sense. I'm not even sure that it's true. It's really weird. But the way they put it, it's kind of like he can't, because he gave up his title in Babylonia, he can't be summoned as one again. But that doesn't really make any sense, and I'm not really sure that's what they mean. So I'm not really sure. But everything Nasu said there really begs the question of will someone else be able to be the Grand Assassin at some point? Or be summoned as a Grand Assassin at some point? And I think probably yes. So it's the Graham situation is really weird, honestly. I don't really get it. But yeah, I think Nasu did that though because it explains why Hassans are the only assassins you're supposed to be able to summon in a Grail War. Because again, the Grail War is a copycat derivative system of the Grand system, and because King Hassan was supposed to be the only Grand Assassin that you could summon, you're only supposed to be able to summon Hassans. So a lot of people don't know this, but in a totally vanilla, normal Grail War, the assassin will always be one of the Hassans. Always. Now, it's not very hard to break the rules and summon something else, and people do it all the time. But if everyone follows the inscription and incantations and all that bullshit and follows the rules, you will always summon a Hassan. And I suspect that's because of King Hassan stuff. But they obviously realize, just like with Berserkers, that's boring, and they pretty much always have that rule get broken, so... However, that's kind of a thing in Fate Strange Fake, where you've got the fake war that's breaking the rules, and then the true war that's, for the most part, following the rules. The fake Hassan is not an Hassan, right? The fake assassin, is how I should put it, is the Zealot, who though is connected to the Hassans is not an Hassan and would not normally be summonable in a totally vanilla Grail War. where the true assassin that's summoned in Fate Strange Fake is just an Hassan, right? I mean, he's a pretty abnormal one with his abilities, but he is just another regular Hassan. And then like the fake war doesn't have a saber, and then where the true war does, and it has Richard the Lionheart, right? So it's kind of, they did some interesting stuff there, where like the true war is following the rules and the fake war is not. But Grand Berserker is kind of a weird concept just because it's a Berserker, so. They'll probably make it a Berserker like, what was an example? You know, Nightingale or whatever, where they're not really a Berserker, right? Because they want, they'll sell better if they can talk and stuff. But really, I think that if you're gonna do a Grand Berserker, now obviously I'm sure they'll say there are Grand candidates for Berserker that are all right, but you know, the one that you're going to show in the game, you know, it's nice if it can, like, you know, be a good representative of the class, right? And I think the true representative really should be Gurgle, but they're not going to do that because Berserkers like Morgan and everything sell so much better, so. Fluffy for Grand Berserker, I'd be okay with this. I think Beowulf actually fits as a Grand candidate really well because for Berserker, he is where the term Berserker comes from. And I think he does sum up the class very well, and he's very famous and very powerful. So I think he's actually a great pick for that. But I'm telling you right now, almost every Grand candidate that we see, or maybe not candidate, but everyone that gets to show up as a Grand is going to be new, right? And if it's an old character, it's going to be a new form, like how Orion is in a different form and a Romulus is in a different form, right? They're not gonna be like, oh, you know, it's just you know, Karna as a Grand Lancer now, and now he looks the same, but he's in a Grand container. They're not gonna do that because that doesn't make money. They're gonna, and it's cart before the horse. You know, it's not artistic. There's no artistic integrity here, but they're always gonna make sure they can contrive it so whatever you see as the Grand will be different, and for the most part probably new, right? They're more likely to do new things, I think, like how King Hassan was new. And we'd never seen him before. I highly doubt Kiyohime qualifies as a Grand, but they're never going to tell us the qualifications for almost any of the Grands, because they're very vague about what few qualifications they've hinted at or said for Caster and Archer. Or they're not all the requirements, and they're also very vague, and it's just... And there's a very good reason why they're doing this. They do not want to retroactively be stuck into, oh, this thing could be a Grand candidate. They don't want that. They want to be able to just arbitrarily pull anything out of their ass or shut anything out. They want to be able to say, oh, nope, that can't be a Grand, or that can be a Grand with no good reason. That's 100% why they're being so vague about it. And they don't tell you anything about the requirements to be a Grand Lancer. Like, they give you some hints for Caster and Archer, but they didn't give you anything for Lancer. And I think that's just going to be how it is moving forward. They are just not going to, you know, detail any of it. Because they want to be able, not just for FGO, but for other works. They want to be able to pull anything at any time. So they're going to keep it vague as hell. Actually, I don't think they ever say Medea can't be a Grand Caster. I don't think they ever say that. And the non-Grand version of Medea wouldn't even know, right? If you're not summoned as a Grand, if you're summoned into a normal servant container, you're not even going to know if you have the ability to be a Grand or not. Now, I doubt they're going to let Medea be a candidate for Grand for many reasons, but I don't think they ever actually said that. What they did say was she was weaker than the Grand Caster, but that's because of her class container, right? Anyone summoned into the Grand class container is going to be stronger than most casters summoned into a regular caster container. Because here's the thing, Medea doesn't have clairvoyance as a regular caster, which, by the way, makes absolutely no sense, but she doesn't have it, but maybe she just have it as a Grand. Because look at the logic people use. Just like, everyone just stop for a second. Just think about this, right? Romulus, that as we had known him before we saw him in Lost Belt 5, doesn't have most of the abilities that he has in his Lost Belt 5 incarnation. So let's just say that he had given us some things for what you need. Like, let's say he had said, oh, to be the Grand Lancer, you have to have some version of 9 lives. And then one was like, well, Romulus doesn't have 9 lives, so he can't be the Grand Lancer. And then, oh look, Romulus is the Grand Lancer, and look that his 5-star version has 9 lives. Oh wow, right? It's like they can ass pull this stuff any way they want, right? But honestly, the Medea, the Medea thing makes no sense. There's a lot of stuff they've said about her and just casters in general, and like Solomon, and that make no sense. And there's no, it's just internal logic fail. There's some, there's some, weakness in the universe there for like how they've set things up that does not make any sense. She has older magic, and magic is always stronger when it's older. She has pseudo true magic, right? Where none of the Magus that come after have that. They just have mage craft. And it don't make any sense, right? That like they never actually say. I've seen some people say that Solomon is just better than Medea. They don't really ever say that. What they really mostly imply is, if he was in his grand state, because they think he's in his grand state, then he would be stronger than Medea, and that's just sensible. But they never really say that her magic is worse, and they never really say, what other things she qualifies for or not. But she really should have clairvoyance. I do agree, because they basically have said that Magus, if they try hard enough, right, and they get experienced enough, they can get clairvoyance. And what they've said about Medea is she's like one of the best Magus that has ever lived. She just completely shits on like everything. And she has, older magic than basically every caster out there. And yet she doesn't have clairvoyance for some reason. And that doesn't make any sense. And it's because back then they didn't think about it, right? They hadn't even thought about clairvoyance back when they made Fate Stay Night. And they hadn't thought about how a lot of that stuff was going to work. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they've ever detailed a caster, like a caster servant in Fate that has magic that is older than Medea's. I don't think any of them do. The closest would just be caster Gilgamesh, but he's not technically doing magic. He's using mystic codes and items that mimic magic that are on par with like older magic, but that's completely different. But yeah, I don't think they've ever detailed a mage that has older abilities than Medea. There are mages that have existed that but most of them aren't famous, right? They're like in the time of Gilgamesh, there were a lot of just magicians, and magicians are different than Magus. Magus use magecraft, magicians use magic. And Medea is like an in-between. But there are like magicians out there, but they've really never been famous and been servants. They're normally just nameless things. And there's a few people that can use true magic, but in a pretty limited capacity, right? They only know true magic in a pretty like sliver of it, right? They don't have a lot of like full-on blown, magicians from like the past running around in the Nasuverse. But yeah, Medea's been very scuffed, and a lot of that comes because it's because she's from Fate Stay Night. That's why. It's because Fate Stay Night is the oldest story in the Fate universe, and it's not very future-proof. It just isn't. They weren't planning on it. The franchise blowing up like it did, and it really shows. And Medea is an obvious example of that. A lot of stuff they said with Ku doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you look at it on like paper. It makes sense in terms of his accomplishments and his abilities, but like his stats don't make any sense. Like Ku's stats just do not make sense for what they've said about him. And really stats in general just don't make sense in Fate very much, because you have servants that have lower agility that are said to be faster than servants that have higher agility. But I guess you can say agility is not exactly speed, but it just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of growing pains that have happened with Fate, and then like Fate Stay Night especially. Because the average rank of things got really inflated, right? Like Excalibur was supposed to be really special, and in a lot of ways it still is. I mean, A++ is still stronger than the average Humble Phantasm. And then it used to be Aya was the only EX, and that made sense. That, I mean, Aya is supposed to be greater than Excalibur, but then they just couldn't, because there's different writers, and then the new toy effect, and then Nasu wanting to show off something new and make it OP and everything. They ended up just making a million things that are EX rank, and it just, there's so much like servants with stats that are just so much higher than what you saw in Fate Stay Night. And it just, there's so much like bloat like that. So a lot of the things that they said and established in Fate Stay Night don't really make any sense. But yeah, that's just bad management, really. I brought the wrong team. Oh my god. This is the stupid team. And it had to be archers, right? Like if I happen to bring the wrong team, you know, that's normally not that big of a deal, but it happened to be archers. It's not wasted AP. I think we'll still win because of Protoku. I think Protoku can clutch this out, but this is going to be really bad. This is going to be super, super bad. Like if I just brought a generic team that wasn't designed for farming, that it'd be, you know, scuffed, but it would probably work. But this is just absolutely terrible. Could not be a worse setup. And there's nothing for Mozart to even support. And Protoku has like, you know, some random event CE or something. Oh my god, what have we done? Autopilot needs to be disengaged, but it was not. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get all the damage out of Robin here. Dude, these Columbuses just got a lot scarier. Like suddenly we activated a boss fight. Oh my god, my Mystico, it's gonna do nothing. Come on, Robin. You got this. Oh, what have we done? Make way for the DPS? Yeah, I pretty much have to, aside from the NP. And so as for the clairvoyance in Grandcaster, there's a lot of like, I've seen a lot of debate about this, and I think both sides are wrong, and it really just comes down to Nasu's being a vague jackass. But some people think you have to have clairvoyance to be Grandcaster, and then some people think you absolutely do not, and it's because there's two. Basically what happens is like one set of people are looking at one bit of information and the other people are looking at another bit of information. So there's some bits with Gilgamesh and there's some bits with Merlin, and the different bits kind of describe it differently. And basically how Merlin puts it is like everyone that so far has been a Grand happens to be a good enough of a mage to be able to have clairvoyance. And it's not like that's just what he says. He doesn't say that you don't need clairvoyance. He doesn't say that you do need it. He's basically saying it's a good like way of telling that they might be able to be a Grandcaster, because anyone that's been a Grandcaster has been good enough to have clairvoyance. But there's other scenes with other characters talking about it, and then they're just talking about how there are requirements. But really no one has ever, like Nasu or the characters, have ever said what is or isn't a requirement, really. They're always super vague about it. And that's obviously intentional, I would say. And I think it's always going to be that way. Like, they're just always going to be pieces of shit. And they're leaving a back door open, right? They want to be able to just do whatever they want. They don't want to lock themselves into any rules with how things work. So, which is funny because they made a hard magic system, so they're supposed to have rules at the point. So they're trying to have their cake and eat it too all the time, which doesn't really work in my opinion. I have more faith in Robin's Buster card than Mozart's. Because they do character material books, they use a lot of D&D terminology. They said they were inspired by that. Like, they very much made a hard magic system, but then they're constantly trying to break the rules. Wait, how much damage did anyone pay attention? I was ranting. How much damage did Robin do? I have absolutely no idea. I wonder if these guys have their actual NP. Well, time to find out. We never got a good hand for our crit stars. 85k? Damn. I should have killed one of the. I shouldn't have killed the 39k one then. I should have killed the 50k one. I know he's an event bonus servant, but still. It's only 30%. I mean, 30% is not that big of a deal. What's he gonna do? Nope, extra attack. Look at how hard it is to just get through the Columbus. The Columbi. The Columbuses. Saving the stun for the... when Protoku's here. Because, let's be honest, nobody here is actually worth it. The Colum people. It's like the Illuminati, but they're all Columbus. I like can't use Arash really. It's pretty terrible using his NP. Well, Robin is actually doing okay. Well, you want to make this stage into a challenge quest? Just use 6 archers. Or like, you know, 4 archers and 2 supports, but the supports can't do any damage, right? Like, damn. Well, Robin got Buster crit there, or just crit, however it works. Do I stun now so I get a free turn off my PFA, or do I wait for when I think it's more important? I think I stun now. Just do the battery. I don't really care about the defense up with the way this is going. We're in quite a bit of trouble here. If I had a different Mystic Code, I think it'd be a lot better. Because if we die, it's just going to be the PFA not being up when I need it. Like for an NP on the boss or something. Yeah, I'm doing this because I'm going to try to stop the buff block if I can get lucky. 50% debuff resistance. Why can't Tam be a beast? Beastly with the lore. Nasu is a big FromSoft fan. I'm doing this for the NP game. Dude, we might lose. Oh, this sucks. Fucking archers, man. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, you told me about that, Beastly. What am I supposed to do right now? If only I'd given Protoku a real craft essence, this would be looking a lot better. I need him to kill Waver. Do I NP? I think I have to. Because if I don't NP, he NPs, and that's just awful. See, the Japanese language is quite different than English, so they can get really cheeky with their the way they refer to characters. So if they want to, they can hide a character's gender pretty easily. But the way they've talked about Samai, however the fuck you say his name, Sammy, we'll go with that. It's a dude, so I don't think there's... You know, I don't know, you never know with them. They can kind of pull out whatever the fuck they want. Alright, I actually wish Sharky didn't spawn. Sharky's great and everything, but we do not need this right now. And Sharky has buff removal, so I'm gonna do my anti-beast and try to get rid of him really quick. Haven't seen the Sharky command in a long time. That's some damage right there, though. Okay, if Waver's gonna live this long, we might as well get the buffs out of him, so that's nice. Yeah, we're not looking too bad here. And she can stun herself, which is a big help. Might as well do that. Does she have debuffs? I have to look this up. I kind of forget. She does, but they're not that big of a deal. Well, the charm's pretty bad. I should probably cast this just to be safe then. If only our Mystic Code did anything. You know, Battery, they use too much, but it would help Protoku because what he needs to be is a reliable damage dealer that has burst damage that he gets quickly and easily, and like that's a good way to make him different from regular Ku. Really, just anything to increase his damage or his speed would be good. So I can phase tank here. If she quick charges, I'm safe scumming. You can't stop me, chat. I want that AP. Oh, we just kill her! And we just kill her! There we go! No problem! Jesus, that was, that got real hard real quick. Because of the goddamn archers. Because I wanted to make sure things went well at the end, I had to get as much value out of the archers at the start there, so that was a mess. Okay, let's not do that. You know, why couldn't the game reward me with a nice CE drop? That'd have been swell. Alright, so we have to either get 70k or we have to get a CE drop. Which one will happen first? Let's see, where are we at if I turn my stuff in? That stage does drop a lot of chests, but 70k is still quite a bit. Yeah, we're not even close, so that's kind of rough. Alright, we gotta get that lore. This account's doing way better on lores than my main account is. Not even close. I got the CE back-to-back right after 70k, and I didn't have any drops before that. That sucks so much, Beastly. At least they give you it at 70k though, so you can't just get completely screwed. But that sucks so bad. Man, Protoku is so cool. Why can't he be better? I probably will, if I take one thing to 120, it probably will be Protoku on this account. It's just so hard with 3 stars, like, oh my god, they made it such a nightmare. Let's see. I've been thinking about who to give my faux pas to. Might be Protoku as well, because he is a crit servant. See how many I have. Because Gwen does not need them on anything other than his Buster cards, like that's super irrelevant. I love them on Gwen though, it's super fun. So we have 24 of them, so we have quite a few. I'm not going to do it right now, but I want to see how many, what does that get us to? So I can almost max one card. And oh look, it just takes 48 million, almost 49 million QP. It's just real quick. That is so ridiculous. Here, we'll fix Gwen so Otto can stop having a freak out over it. They gave out pause one time for one event. I don't remember what it was, but there was an event, like you got like a login reward and they gave out pause. It was actually a decent number, I remember. So I'm actually starting to 2k foe Ku again. And it's because it's, you know, level 100 2k foe is not rare, right? That's, these days, how long the game's been out, that's a very common thing for just units that people kind of like, right? But because I'm taking my main account Ku to 120, I kind of want to have a regular upgraded Ku behind that, and just for testing and for videos sometimes and that kind of thing, so I figured I might as well. And Protoku's already max 2k foe, so. Was it Scabfest? Was that what it was? That sounds about right. I'm not crazy about this setup, but I'm also really lazy, so we'll just stick with it. I'll BRB real quick, chat. I need to get water, and then we will do a account review. So the one good thing about this event being way longer than it should be is it's allowing me to do it on more accounts than I normally would. I normally only do events on 2 accounts, my main, and then I pick one other account, and I kind of mix up what that other account is. But this one I'm doing it on like 3, so. I do it on 3 accounts sometimes though, if I have more free time than normal, or if an event is really easy, because every once in a while there's an event that is just super easy to get through. Alright, let us look at our available accounts for review here. Okay, we got, how do you say this? And nothing is, okay, that might be capital, but it's an I or an L, so I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's an I. So I have no idea. Ayubadub. I think it's Ayubadub. That's the best I got. It's either that or Ayubadub, but I think it's Ayubadub. I think that's what it is. But if it's an L, I don't even know. If it's a fucking L, I don't even know. Why do people name their accounts this? I don't even. All right, let's see what we got here. Excuse me. Okay, sending in my account, looking for advice on what to work on, deal with future content. Also, partly because I wanted Green to know that I started playing. Because of Green, watched a lot of the videos at YouTube and thought it'd be awesome to play myself. So that I wonder, did they like know about Fate and they just looked up FGO because they heard about it and they just saw my videos, or did they not know anything about Fate? Oh yeah, hold on, I'll bring it up. There we go. But did they learn about Fate in general through FGO videos? That's kind of an interesting thought. Thought it'd be awesome to play myself, but was busy until... Is that the pandemic? I'm assuming that's the pandemic. Happened last year, I thought I'd give it a go. Wait, did I already do this account? I remember that. I don't think so, though. We'll see. Account somewhat a year old after Summer 3 before Fate Zero event. Thanks for taking a look at my account. I enjoy roasting it. I'm assuming English is not their first language, but that's fine. I remember someone else though talking about like starting around the pandemic or whatever, and I think these felt it that way too. So I'm not sure if I don't think I've done this account before. Yeah, this doesn't look familiar. Okay, so Siegfried is not a servant I intended to pull for. He showed up quite a few times in Merlin's banner, so spooks. I was kind of meh about it, but I was very surprised at his performance. Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. Considering grailing him in the future, next servant to build is Bedivere. He's NP4. There's nothing wrong with grailing Siegfried. I mean, I did it, and I've never really regretted it. He's decent for farming. He's good for certain challenge quests, and there's sometimes AoE challenge quests, or even main story fights where like one of the enemies is a lancer, one of the enemies is a dragon, and then one of the enemies is a berserker or something, right? And you can just get good damage on everything that matters and things like that. So yeah, I think Siegfried's fine. I think he's a pretty underestimated 4-star. He used to be He's changed over the years, though. I remember the early days of FGO, everyone made fun of him as like the worst servant in the game all the time. I mean, he just got so much flack constantly. And then after he got buffed twice, a lot of people were like, yeah, no, he's pretty good now. But a lot of people still would just make fun of him and say he was bad because they didn't use him. That was such a thing where he'd become so much stronger, but no one used him, so no one realized that he was that good, and they just kept repeating that he was bad over and over. But over time, even though he hasn't been buffed again, he's the same place he was way back then, over time people have finally accepted that he's fine. Like, it took a long ass time, but for the most part, people don't really make fun of him anymore. And it's just because he's good. He's a solid 4-star. Like, yeah, he's not, you know, he's not Coup, right? He's nothing broken like that, but he's a nice universal handy 4-star saber, and then if the enemy happens to be dragon, then he's crazy tanky and hits stupid hard. So yeah, kind of the Fionn effect. Fionn, I think, turned his reputation around a little bit faster. Well, not exactly, because here's the thing. I think Fionn was really good ever since his second buff, but he didn't turn his reputation around until his third buff. But he was actually good before the third buff. The third buff just made him nutsy. But yeah, Fionn is definitely another one of those servants, when I think about it, that has kind of been like that. But he has definitely turned his reputation around. People are dumb. That's what I'm getting at. Okay, so you got Siegfried and Mordred for AoE. So if you need higher NP rank, you have Siegfried, and if you just need, you know, the battery, you have Mordred. And Mordred hits pretty hard at NP1. It's not as hard as you would like, but it's still fine. Then Mordred's got anti-debuff. So for single target, you've got a lot. The really noteworthy stuff, though, is Sitting Master, Lancelot, and Masashi. Now, all of your big boys are NP1, which really sucks. Like, that kind of hurts. But Masashi is still really good at NP1, and so is Sitting Master. Lancelot is as well, but probably not as good. I think Lancelot really wants NP2. So out of this roster, I would 10-10 to the Siegfried. If you're playing on grailing him, just at least grail him to 90. That's just 2 grails, right? That's not a big deal. So I think slapping 2 grails on Siegfried is fine. Get him to 10-10-10. That gives you a nice, strong, you know, saber there, and you have Mordred as well. And then I'd work on either Masashi or Sitting Master. Either one is fine. I'd get one of the two to 10-10-10 though. I'd just pick one and go with that. Sitting Master, you know, Yagyu gets really good down the road when he gets buffed again. Then he's just crazy, but he's still good as is. But I mean, Masashi is just, I mean, it's Masashi. But although you say you want to work on Bedivere, if you work on Bedivere, I'd probably level Sitting Master then, just because he's art. Just so you have more team options, because Mordred is Buster, Siegfried is Buster, Bedivere is Buster, and that's fine, but just to have some options, I'd probably focus on Sitting Master then, because again, he's going to get that buff, and he gets really crazy. And Masashi is totally fine, and she really is a super good unit, but that's just so much Buster that I'd probably go Sitting Master, but it's fine. If you wanted to do Bedivere and Masashi, get her to 10-10-10, and you're all Buster, it's okay. That's not a big deal. It's not like the end of the world or anything. And you could always use, you know, you're kind of scuffed. Like in an emergency, we just gotta use art or quick or something. You know, you could always summon a friend, or you could use you're not maxed out Sitting Master or Hokusai or even Lancelot, and it'd be okay. It's not a big deal. But it is nice to have units at 10-10-10, and especially for challenge quests. Oh, music's looping again. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay. Alright, I tried to pull for some of the archers, but you don't see that every day. They don't come a lot. At least I got some big AoE nukes and Chloe to fill in ST spot. Next servant to build is Billy in Bone Hell. Well, that's most people. Again, all your heavy hitters are NP1, and it definitely hurts on these ones. So Chloe is a good gap filler. She's just a pretty universal murder it button. She's sure hit, NP quick, can loop okay, hard survival, you know, it's good. So you passed the David test, so that's very good. That's nice to see. Haven't seen a lot of that recently. So both Arjuna and Gilgamesh are very good, and they both get their NPs very quickly, but they're also both NP1. But for farming, that's probably good enough. And then Billy, if you're gonna level Billy, all you really need to do is level his second skill. I mean, that's really all you gotta do. If you get his second skill to 10, he pretty much does what he's supposed to do. But if you want that ultimate, you know, like does really well in challenge quests and everything, you definitely want the evade at 10 as well, because the shorter cooldown. So if you're gonna like grail Billy, then definitely get Billy's second and third skill to 10. If you're not gonna grail him, you could really just get his second skill to 10 and it's not a big deal. I don't think you really need to level archers that much. What you have is really strong, and David is pretty broken, and Chloe's really good, so it's not a big deal. Don't make me Paimon Royale you, Boomer. I like to see you try. That emote doesn't even work here. You have no power in my realm. This isn't that cursed, unholy ground that we call the Cairo land. You know, things actually work here. I mean, what? Let's see. So yeah, I don't think you need to really work on any archers. If you wanted to, you know, get the Billy up, you know, other than second skill though, that's like the second skill is the only thing you need to level on Billy. So you're kind of good here. And if you're struggling with sabers, I'd be surprised. But I don't know, level Robin, I guess. Probably my most blessed class. I don't know much about that, but Ku is my first 2130 servant. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like first servant to get to 120? Does that? I truly do not know what that means. I normally can kind of figure it out, but I don't know. Like maybe he's meaning 2K foe. That could be it. I don't know why it's 2130, but I'm gonna go with it's 2K foe. That's a decent guess, so we'll go with that. Built him originally in homage to green. Okay, we don't get weird now. But solely became one of my favorite servants. Next servant to build is Leonidas. Okay, what do we got here? So Ku is pretty OP for just murdering everything, so you generally don't need a lot of Lancers other than AoE stuff. But you got Parvati, you got Fionn. Let's see, let me look at your Lancers. I mean, look at your casters. What do you got? So you have Waver, so Universal, no Scatty, but Caster Gil. Okay, so as good as Parvati is, it would be really good on this account to get Fionn to 10-10-10. It's brutal, it's not easy to do it, but it is good. And it's good for challenge quests and farming, because you get that guaranteed taunt and evade. The RNG is gone at 10-10-10. You get good loopability. And he's good with Waver. Like, Fionn and Waver can, and he's NP2, right? He's NP2. Like, Fionn and Waver can get so much done on this account for both challenge quests and farming. So, although it hurts, I would definitely lean towards getting him to 10-10-10. I would not... Valkyrie is so, like... It sucks because out of all, you know, all these super golds at NP1, but then Valkyrie's NP4, and you don't have Scatty. Valkyrie really only shines with Scatty. On her own, Valkyrie's pretty meh. I mean, she's okay, and at NP4, it is kind of good, but your NP2 Parvati is better. Like, straight up, it's raw value, your Parvati is definitely better. But because you don't have Scatty, I really do lean towards Fionn. I would say Fionn is just really, really good on this account. But so is Parvati. It's okay to level Parvati as well. But unless I see other things, because so far I don't see a lot on your account that really needs to be leveled. So if I was gonna focus on something right now, it would be Fionn. Although Leonidas too. It's actually like, what the hell? You got him to 65 and you sent in this account review, but you're like, maybe I should do his strengthening quest to unlock his third skill before I send in this account review. Nope, just send it in like this. You even said you wanted to build Leonidas. But you got the super scuffed setup here, so you might want to fix that. If you're going to level a skill, they'll level his first skill, get the better NP gain, so you get his NP nice and smooth, that's good. You got Liz for farming, I guess, but you don't need it. With Parvati, Valkyrie, Fionn, like, who cares? Your backup single target DPS, you got Medusa, but she's only NP1. Not really worth it at that point. Honestly, a Reshigal is probably better, even though she's AoE. And Crazy Eyes there too. They're probably both going to be better than Medusa at NP1. Medusa can be good, but not really worth the effort at that point, I would say. Okay, and here comes my most scuffed class. Was pretty unfortunate for me that I had to play the game for a long time without a really good writer. That's how it was for me. In my early days, before I made videos and stuff, I was in the same boat for so long. I just didn't like any of the budget writers. Ricky didn't exist back then. I didn't know Ushi's character yet, and she's, she put her clothes through a blender, so I just didn't want to use Ushi at all. Like, I really did not want to use Ushi, and it's just, terrible animations too. And so the only writer that I liked were things that were goals that I didn't have. or it was Medusa, who's just AoE. So for the longest time, I only had Medusa as a Rider. That was it for just so long. And then they reran the Rider Kentoki event, and I was saved. And then I had Medusa and Rider Kentoki for a long time. And then I ended up reading like more stuff on Ushi and her character material book and all that. I'm like, okay, well, her fashion sense is a calamity, but she's a cool character and she's super, super good. So then I started using Ushi, and then everything was fine. But that's really how you save the Rider class. Just level Ushi. Like, that's all you, that's it. Just level Ushi and you're fine. You missed Rider Kentoki though, and Ryoma's not half as good, so that's unfortunate. Your Rider slot's not that bad though. So unlock the damn third skill on Alex. Because Alex is fine at 111 for the most part. He's mostly there for the buff removal and just some support. Somewhat worried about Demeter, about leveling Ricky and building him when he comes to NA. Gonna use Alex Ricky. You'll be fine. I mean, if you have Alex Ricky and then Uchi, you're good, right? I have a 1 to 3 star video of me doing that. You'll be totally fine. And you could use Medusa there. Like, I used Blackbeard, but that was just for the lulz. You don't need Blackbeard in that fight at all. You could use Medusa as backup. You could use Ryoma as backup. You could use Da Vinci as backup, and you've got Reigns, so you don't really have anything to worry about. Because Reigns can be like a waiver in that fight, but then she's also taking like no damage. So even though Reigns isn't the best like support in the game, because she's a Rider, she's amazing in that fight. So you'll have no problems. Like even without Ricky, you'll be fine. Just unlock Alex third skill and you're good. But if you use Reigns, Ushi, and then Alex somewhere, then just Ryoma's backup or whatever, you'll win with just that. So you're good to go. I wouldn't worry about it. As for farming though, I mean, you've got Medusa again and Alex, so you're okay. I don't think your Rider slot's that scuffed. Okay, I take it back. Your George is a disgrace. Who gets George to 65 and then doesn't level his first skill even to 4? Who does that? Who levels George and is like, yeah, 111? Yeah, we don't need defense up. We don't need cooldown. No. We'll just 111 that. Yeah, you get George's first skill. At least get it to 4 for crying out loud, but preferably 6 or 10. But what are we doing here? Okay, so Reigns and Waver make it very easy for you to farm. Caster Guild's pretty good too. Nitocris is good for farming. You got Max Hans, so that's good. Cairo approves. And actually good for this account. You're not swimming in OP support, so Hans is very good. You have Asclepius. There we go. I wonder when he rolled on that. I'd love to know if he rolled on a caster daily or on the raid up with Hot Wheels. I'm super curious. Oh yeah, it's a great idea to build my Edison. He's pretty niche. I'll look at this in a second. Effect sounds good on paper. It can be. It's good with Robin and things like that. Things that have good overcharges. Also getting my Q-Caster prepped for Lost Belt 6. In fact, I might grail him next servant to build. Q-Caster and Meth. Let's see. I mean, how many servants do you have that really work with Edison's thing? Valkyrie, am I right, guys? No. It's good with Gilgamesh. It's good with Robin, though your Robin is scuffed as fuck. Why? Go do your strengthening quests! You have so many servants at max level, but you haven't unlocked their damn third skill. Day 1 FGO, by the way. Kind of good with Mordred, it's good with Siegfried. I mean, you got some things that kind of work with Edison. And he's an okay, just generic caster against assassin bosses. So, I mean, if you like him, and you're like, hey, this sounds like something fun to play around with, it's fine. I mean, it's not like it's bad, but he's not like some meta caster that's gonna, like, carry you through all the game or anything. But he's fine, he has okay damage, he has okay utility, and in the right circumstances, utility is actually very strong, but it is definitely a very team-dependent gimmick, very much so. But he can be really good, you can use him with Atlas and have even more cooldown reduction, so yeah, if you like him, I'd go for it, don't worry about it. They cost 200 AP, give him a break. I mean, you're not wrong, but still, you gotta... The thing is, if you let it pile up, it's worse. If you let it pile up, you don't let it turn into a nightmare, right? You gotta stay on top of it. You gotta beat it down before it turns into, you know, what's that? What's that, like, Veggie Tales, right? That's like a meme thing nowadays. They have like that, the fib that gets like bigger and bigger or some crap. That's like such a meme these days. But, it's the same thing, right? If you just keep ignoring your strengthening quests, you get to the point where you need thousands of AP to do them, right? You don't want that to happen. Look at Mozart, yeah. The thing is, it's okay because he has Caster Gilgamesh and he has Waver and he has Reigns and he has it's fine. Like, Mozart's a great budget unit, but this account doesn't really need it, and he doesn't even have that many art DPS. He's mostly Quick and Buster. Like, overwhelmingly, he's Quick and Buster. And unless he invests in that Sitting Master, he doesn't actually have much to work with the Mozart. And again, he's got Waver and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. Not bad to level Mozart, though. He's always good, but honestly, I wouldn't prioritize it that much on this account. Like, he's already got so much good stuff. You don't really need to level anything. I mean, the account's in pretty good shape. It's just you're scuffed with your strengthening quests. Okay, Assassin. So even at MP1, Lee's really good. He works with Mozart very well, so that's a thing. So does 100 Face and Kurotsugu, so now we have a little bit more reasons to use Mozart. Nothing much going on over here. I'm just over here hoping that Carrie gets some buffs to set him apart from Shiki. I mean, his playstyle works even if he doesn't get buffed, because you can kind of use him as a support for 100 Face, right? 100 Face and Kurotsugu are a great combo. Like, try it out, man. Like, it's good. But you've got what you need here. You've got Gray for farming. You've got, I mean, Lee is amazing and whatnot. And you've got Wu as a budget quick support even, so you're totally fine. But yeah, Fuma's probably a wise thing to level just for the utility, and you said you're building that next, so you got nothing to worry about here. Oh, hold on one second, chat. I got some food getting ready that I want to make sure I'm not burning. I'm hungry, you know. Gotta eat. Alright, I'm back. So far, I think though this guy has made pretty good decisions, and he's got a nice variety of single target and AoE and support, so I think he's looking alright. Okay, so half of what I said don't even matter, because you have Ku Alter, right? And he's 10-10-10, so you can kind of, and he's level 100, so you can kind of just murder everything with that. Let's see, I mean, I gotta give Edgy Ku the same treatment I give to normal Ku. Herc is bond 10. I don't plan on relying on Gajuna other than farming. Next signature build is Mori. I mean, if you're using Ku Alter, you almost don't even need to level like your other DPS that much, because you can always just use Ku Alter in emergency. So if everyone else isn't 10-10-10, it's not a big deal. Not exactly, though, the funnest way to play that way, but the thing is, you don't have that much to level, though. I mean, Billy'd be worth getting that second skill up. George be worth getting that first skill up. But for the most part, your account is not even that scuffed. I mean, the stuff that matters is prepared, so. Okay, so if you're not going to use Gajuna outside of farming, though, probably you should level Spartacus or Darius to be safe. There are some challenge quests where you're going to really want an AoE Berserker. So yeah, I would say Spartacus or Darius. Probably Darius, because Spartacus is more for farming, and you've already got that down. So probably Darius if you want to do budget stuff. You don't really need Mori on your account. Between Ku Alter and Jerker, you don't need what he does at all unless you're planning on grailing him. I don't think you'll really see that much use out of him. I love Mori, but at level 70, he's not going to do anything all that special in comparison to like what you already have, especially Jerker. Like, so if you like him, go for it, but you certainly don't need it. You need something like Darius more if you're wanting to not use God Juno for hard content. But yeah, Mori is really cool. Okay, so we got Lobo. That's actually good. Oh, hold on. How much buff removal do we even have here? There's no Martha. No Medea. Okay, it's actually really good you have Lobo then, because you don't have much in the way of buff removal. It's pretty much Lobo and Alex, and that's it. Let's see. So you have what I do not, and that's an NP2 Joan of Arc. I have NP1 Joan of Arc on almost every single account that I have, but I've never gotten her NP2 ever, which makes me sad because she's a lot better at NP2 with the defense up. But she's really good, and especially because you don't have Merlin for like that really hard content out there, like in Gilfest and Fluffy and things like that. Joan of Arc is a huge help, and she even gives you anti-debuff. So Ilya to replace single target Rider. I mean, your single target Riders are not that bad, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Thinking about leveling Ongra. Well, Red will approve of that. But you know, Lobo is really good on this account. So if you could get his skills up, it's not bad. And he can murder Zeus for you down the line because you don't have another Avenger. So I think Lobo is a very good investment on this account. Luvia is good too because you have some gaps, right, where she could really come in. And you've already got her NP2. But your match is 10-10-10. You pass the David test. You have Hans, you have Waver, you have Reigns. So you're looking really good on supports and stuff. So overall, the account's in good shape. Okay, I was down by a lot after lottery, but I made it a point to not go lower than 100 golden apples. Still managed to farm all I needed to for this account. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's okay. 100 gold apples is plenty. I mean, you're in totally good shape here. You'll be able to do whatever you want. Okay, what do we got? We got goes in, got aerial drive, and it's leveled a bunch. Okay, you got me, you. You're looking. You got you got really good options here. Got 2030. No K-scope. It looks like. These are the only 2 pictures for CE, so I guess you don't have a K-scope. That feels bad. And you, if you have a Sakura scope, you didn't include. Oh no. There it is. There it is. You do have a K-scope. I wonder if you have Sakura scope, but because you have K-scope, oh, you have Black Grail. That's good for Fluffy down the road. I want to see who your best DPS for Fluffy is. It's Ku. It's definitely Ku. There are better DPS out there than Ku, but you don't have any of them. And because your Ku's maxed, your Ku is your best damage dealer for Fluffy. Because you have Joan of Arc though, and Waver, you should be able to handle it. Like, Joan of Arc and Waver will make that fight a lot easier, so you should be alright. And you have plenty of time. Alright, well, this is a pretty cool account. Yeah, you know, and for, I think make good. Look at all that FP! Let's see if it ever goes down a lot. Nope, yeah, all these pictures were at the same time then. Wow. This guy's almost at the QP cap. That's nice to see. Yeah, this guy's pretty ready. Okay, boys. I think what I'm gonna do, because I want to finish eating, and it's kind of hard to eat and stream. I'm gonna wrap up here, and we'll just wrap up FGO for today, because this, you know, we're just farming at this point. And then I'm gonna stream again in like 20 minutes, and I'm gonna play some Tales of Arise. And then tomorrow, we might just do some Richard and Lobo stuff. We might just mess around with random units. Maybe even do some NA, right? And we'll probably just kind of fuck around tomorrow on FGO. Because we've kind of exhausted the summer event. Although maybe we'd fight Taiga a little bit and do the challenge quest a little bit. I definitely want to do Proto Ku versus the challenge quest. See how he compares to regular Ku. But that might not be ready by tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. For those that are just here for FGO, if you want to watch some Tales of Arise, we'll probably be doing that in like 20 minutes or so. I'm going to eat and relax for a minute, and then I will be back. But thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. I just hope we get some good content soon, right? FGO's been kind of slow these last few months, and I hope they turn that around. But yeah, thank you, everybody, and for some of you, I will see you again in a few minutes. Peace.